be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for, this time, a legacy challenge. We are doing the legacy qualifier. I paid 40 qualifier points to get into it, and we are playing the same Bant Stoneblade list that I've been playing on my channel a lot that features Plagon, features Nadu, and the round has already started. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. Our opponent is a likely painter player. I like this hand fine. I think it's fine to just open with the archive and dig a little deeper and learn a little bit more about what they're on before we use this ponder. We could dig for something better, but I think there's a high likelihood that Nadu gets blasted and then we can just bring it right back with Prewar. They are likely, if they're playing painter, they likely have, 7 blasts in their deck. If they have switched to something like Moon Stompy, this line is punished. I don't think we need that. If they're painter, we've got enough land. Really what we're probably looking for is just white removal spells if they're on painter. They have also been on Doomsday and Breakfast within the past month. I think our hand is okay against all of those. It's not great. Okay, it looks like a blue-black strategy, so this is probably Doomsday, if I had to guess, based on their previous... But they play a huge range of decks. This could also be Tempo, although I don't think Tempo is super strong right now. All right. So we did rip another land, which is unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and ponder now, because now is, we're looking for a brainstorm pretty hard to get rid of some of these lands, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to. These cards are okay. We can shuffle away the Tundra, and I'll just hold up Force, and I'll draw Tamio next turn. And then if they do something like that requires us digging for more immediate interaction, we can always just shuffle away the Tamio. But we do have Crypticoat to pitch. I probably don't want to pitch Nadu, because Nadu, if he gets countered or somehow removed, we can pre-war. We can't pre-war Crypticoat. Ah, this deck. Okay, well, we're going to stop the spell that has to be stopped, unfortunately. Classic 1 black mana source. Win the game. Yep. We are going to need something better than a Tamio here to beat this Archon. I presume that they have Reanimate. I can't think of a reason why they wouldn't play out the land before they did that, unless they actually wanted those today's. Yeah, they just had the nut draw. Protected turn 2. Well, I'm not going to concede. I do have Plow in my deck. I could put Nadu in there and then bring him back. I don't think that's correct. I think we got more than enough land. All right, so we are going to be looking for a land. Let's take a Trop here just in case I do have to cast. Well, casting Nadu does nothing because they have Archon. It's like a pointless exercise. I guess Savannah is fine. It has to be Plow. It's Plow or bust, basically. So there's no point in playing out Nadu. It does put it in the graveyard where we can pre-war it back, but that doesn't accomplish anything. Yeah, it's just frustrating they had the Force and the Entomb and the Reanimate. Like, everybody knows this deck is completely busted and that it's the S tier deck, so everybody's going to be playing it for serious tournaments like this, I guess. I will discard a land with hopes that we still have some game to play, but that really depends on whether my opponent has a Force for the Plow that I might draw. Let's just take the pre-war here. Okay. Yeah, sorry if I sound frustrated. It's just that I've been playing against this deck for a year, and frankly, there's nothing you can do to really improve your matchup. Like, it's just an overpowered deck. It beats everything. And I guess I shouldn't fault people for playing it. I mean, it's a serious tournament. You can play it. It's just disappointing. Okay, so let's just bring these Grafdigger's Cages in, and what I do is I take out Prewar, I take out Crypticoat, and I take out a Stoneforge. The reason I take these out is because these are negatively impacted by Grafdigger's Cage. The good news is this could be a very quick match, in which case I'll be able to eat something. I did a full day of work, and I went for a 1K swim, and I still haven't eaten anything really. So I have some baked bread that I'm going to eat with some olive oil and some vinegar in between games, because this is not a league. We actually have to wait around between rounds. I'll go ahead and do a quick deck tech while I'm here. So we're rocking 2 Prismatic Endings, 4 Plows, 4 Forces. We've got lots of interaction in our deck. And then, of course, our sideboard is just interaction. We have Forces, Force Negations. So we go all the way up to 8 forces. We have Harbingers, Hydroblasts, Consigns, and then, of course, the 3 Grafdigger's Cage. And the whole goal of the deck is just a Swiss Army knife with a potential Nadu combo finish. All right, I would like to be on the play here, and I would like to keep this. So it's not a lock. It's not a guarantee that like you just win when you play Grafdigger's Cage, but it does make the game a lot easier. I do need to be able to get a Tundra. I don't want to expose my only potential white source in case they're able to clear this. I will get into a force fight over it. All right. It's in. They run engineered explosives. They run probably Brazen Borrower. So it's not like we're out of the woods, but and they probably have like Nethergoyf and stuff like that too. Or not Nethergoyf, Barrelgoyf, maybe Murktide. Okay, drawing all the forces. We're going to play that and we can surveil and step. They are surveilling. They're not surveilling. Control cycling. So as good as this card is, it may have 0 impact. They may just not have a lot of Reanimator cards in their deck. They may have boarded them out. The troll still succeeds in going and getting a land and everything, even when you have this out. They've got basics, which doesn't matter to us. I'm just going to let this resolve. I'm not going to fight over it. They'll probably take Plow, I would imagine. Because it's a 1-for-1. The other cards, like we have to 2-for-1 to stop like a Bowmaster, which is probably worth stopping. They may very well have a Daze or a Wasteland in hand. So this Plagon isn't necessarily going to get cast for a few turns. Okay, they opted to take Plagon. All right, well, I'm going to surveil here. And this is my 1 white source. So, but I'm not going to fetch basics against likely 3 Wasteland deck. Tamio gets things going. All right. And really what I think we need to do is just get this game to go a long time. So stopping anything they do, it's going to be a high priority, like stopping Bowmaster. I don't think that is worth stopping with a force. We'll just draw another one. It's a 1-for-1. Forest is a land. They know what we're drawing, unfortunately. Instead Brainstorm, they're going to be able to get a perfect Brainstorm here. Probably brainstorming away the reanimation effects. So we're probably just merely inconveniencing them. What I'd really like to see is a Stoneforge Mystic. Because then I can get Caldra, and Caldra will be probably impossible for them to deal with. They might have like Shielder's Edict. So if we force this, we don't have to deal with either side of it. I think there's a very decent chance that they have a force of their own. Okay. Well, we preserved our little force field. All right. Land. I am going to play it out because we are working toward Hardcast Force, and we might be able to cast like an Undazable Nadu. It was important to force that Brazen Borrower because then we just end up forcing a reanimation effect. And we still have to deal with the actual body. This comes out. Opponent still has perfect information. It'll push is fine. They've drawn fewer lands than us, which is good for them because they don't need as much land as we do. Now we have Hardcast Force, which will likely just get dazed. They may have taken days out on the draw. I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it because they could have Engineered Explosives as their answer. And I don't want to tap off of Force of Will. They thought seize me. They thought seize me. They have Hardcast Force up now. Ponder. Yeah, I don't really want to wait around. Yeah, and then I can just plow it. And that's precisely what they want. They probably want me to have to burn a plow on a Orcish Bowmaster. Okay, these are great cards. I want the Tamio for sure. And then I can draw the plow later. They've already used 2 of their likely 4 Fatal Pushes. I'm not the force. They may not have force. If this can stick, we're going to pull really far ahead really quickly. I do think I draw the force. Or I'm sorry, I think I draw the plow before I shuffle. Okay, so I'm just going to go get my white source here. Do I want to get another land? I don't need to. I think I'm just going to let that resolve. Murktide's fine. Yeah, I'll just let it resolve and then I'll attempt to plow it. I'll just do that in step. Be mana efficient. I've got another plow coming. Okay, they gain a bunch of life. Oh, I don't have another plow coming because I fetched. Yeah, I do think it was correct to fetch where I did. All right, I'm going to come in for a hug and then I'm going to brainstorm. Okay. Plagon is not as good as he would have been a minute ago. I think I could probably put this cage back. Yeah, engineered explosives answers both of them. I don't really want any more land. So this flips. I can go ahead and plus here. I can go ahead and shuffle. I'm looking for some action. I wouldn't consider Plague an action at this point. We have to take the cage if we take the plow. I'm going to any order shuffle this. I'm looking for creatures. Probably get punished with land, yeah. Well, let's play out the land. We don't have a way to shuffle stuff back. I think it's fine to just crack the clue now. Another brainstorm. That's good to know about. So if Bowmasters comes out, we can, we'll probably pitch brainstorm to Bowmasters. They're brainstorming. They're looking at 7 cards right now. If they have an engineered explosives, it'll take out my Tomio as well. So I'll definitely try to force it, but they haven't cast any forces yet. So I think there's a decent chance they can counter it. Coming in to hug Tomio. The Sea's Embrace. So there's a risk that if I respond by brainstorming, they just have, yeah, I'm just going to let it happen. This could be where they have engineered explosives and they just destroy my world. Took Plagon. So I don't think they have EE. Otherwise, that would work ties back. So we can just regrow the plow if we need to. We may be able to find an answer for this in the top cards. I don't really want to burn a force on this. It's only a 5/5, so we have a few turns. Let's go ahead and brainstorm here. That will inform what we do here. Like I might have to just delete this to get the plow. Nadu. Yeah, I think what we do is we delighted Halfling here and we just go ahead and plow this. Then next turn we have Nadu. We don't have anything to do with Nadu. We could Nadu now. I mean, these cards are pretty terrible. We play out the land and we do have plow and force. I think I like that better. Or we could take a hit for 7. I don't really like doing that. I think we just reroll the plow and we hold up force. Next turn we can deploy both the Nadu and the other. So we're just going to be chilling for a few turns. Troll cycle. Hitting us for 2. Nadu cannot actually race this with how much life they have. Brainstorm. I don't think that's a force. You could argue that we should force that. I think I'm just going to Halfling here, and then I'll pass with force up. I will force the Thoughtseize here, but I don't want my Nadu to get countered. I at least want it to be a 2-for-1. All right, Nadu coming in. Caw. All right, they've already used 2 of their fatal pushes, and it's harder for them to turn on Revolt. So I think Nadu may stick. We just need to chill until we draw a Stoneforge. There we go. We do have force if they force. Shuko. Do we want to go ahead and just go for Shuko now? It's the only Shuko we have. They have a hardcast force up. We have force as well. Let's do this. And if they force, I can just hardcast force. And we'll see if they have the days, the late game days to save them. Oh, we got it. All right. Well, that worked out well. Again, Grafdigger's Cage on the play and a force to stop their interaction spell. That felt great. Stoneforge showed up just when we needed to. That was awesome. All right, game 3 on the draw. Not a super favorable matchup. We do have force, lands, Stoneforge. Stoneforge can get Cauldra. If they take it slow, I think we're okay, but who knows whether they're going to take it slow. They are mulling to 6. I think they're going to try to play unfair. I don't think they can outfair us. So we should expect, fireworks here. So Tomio has to stay in hand until we find a blue card. Second Stoneforge is fine. It's not spectacular because we only have 2 equipment in the deck. Instant Brainstorm. They are on the play and they did mulligan. So they are working with fewer cards than us, but a lot of our cards are lands. I don't want to walk into a daze. So we're going to play patiently here. They're brainstorming again, very aggressive. They don't have land. Okay, well that's very good for us. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do, but if they ponder, we could take our time and set up. Like when they don't have land, that's when you get out of daze range. Okay, now with that brainstorm out, I think we start capitalizing on the fact that they don't have land. I'm going to start fetching basics here. I definitely don't want to brainstorm if I don't have to. Every turn we create a clue is like card advantage for us. This gives them the chance to break the brainstorm. I think I am going to force this. And that may seem like questionable. Maybe they force back here. But like I just don't want them to have land. And every turn that I get to attack with Tamiyo is a clue. Okay. So now we're going to attack. Delighted Halfling can join the fray. Actually, I think we kill him with Caldra. So I can go get white here just in case of Huesos. I can play out a land. This can go get a basic island. I can also go get a Trop. Trop might actually make sense because we may be able to... let's get Caldra here. We haven't given them anything to daze. I think we continue to not give them anything to daze here. This is nice to have, but it's not an urgent thing. They could draw land naturally here. So have they drawn through? Yeah. This is fine. They can take our Caldra. That does stymie our offensive considerably. Let's draw. Force is great. I'm going to play this out. I think we could just do 2 damage instead of 1 here. Just go get Shuko and play it. I don't hate that. No. I need another card. I need a blue card in case they break out of this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attack with both. Now's a good window to just draw a card and see what we draw. We can draw again and flip Tamiyo. That's fine. Okay. I think it's probably okay to flip Tamiyo here, but I'm just going to play a little more cautious. I'm not too worried about them bringing out the creature here. I'm just going to add to the board and hold up 4 stays. At this point, it might make sense to force a ponder if they have one. This is crazy. I've never forced 2 ponders in a row, but we're developing and they're not. Leave a comment with the timestamp if you think that was a crazy force. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with everything. We're doing so little damage, but we are amassing cards here. This is a Tamiyo flip turn. If we get a land, then we even have... Okay. I don't want to go off of Daze Protection mana. I can do this in the end step. They will eventually naturally draw a land. They have 17 lands in their deck, though. EE for 1. I think that's a force. I know it's crazy, but if you think about it, like that takes out this, takes out this. It's going to take out our Shuko that we're going to go get. I'm just going to, yeah. And I don't want to wait around. If I can find a Graph Digger's Cage, that's another thing. It is good to know that they have that in their deck. They hopefully just have 1 copy. They might have a second. Plow's a good rip. Not relevant right now. I'm going to go ahead and just get the Shuko just to do a little more damage. It's very minor, but I do want to attack with everything. Next turn I can flip Tamiyo. Just doing the weenie beats. Brainstorm. Okay, they're probably going to break their break the drought here. We can still lose. I want to make it clear, like even if I'm like joking around and stuff, like using colorful expressions, popping my knuckles and stuff, doesn't mean I don't realize that we could absolutely lose here. And they can surveil them fatty into the yard. Yes, Atraxa. All right, we do have the plow. We need a Graph Digger's Cage, please. Okay, so let's think about this. If we draw Nadu, that does it. I think we keep this uncracked. Or we don't attack with the Halfling. 3 damage. If we attack for 1 more, we could have prevented that. No, because it's only 7. I'm going to go like this. Let's draw. Cage, please. Plagon. Plagon's insane here. Let's Plagon. This is not going to stop what they are doing. It's going to flip our Tamiyo and give us a lot of cards. As many as they're about to draw. Tamiyo flips. We can't do anything. We're just kind of sitting here. We have Karakas and Plow. 7 minutes on the clock. Let me think about this. We could play out the other Tamiyo. They might daze. I think it's fine just to have it out as a piece of material. They want to daze that, that's fine. This is the first opportunity we've given them to daze. Right. Next turn, they are very dead, even with the Atraxa, because we just bounce Atraxa out of the way. They have to kill our creatures because we just Karakas this out of the way. They can't Thoughtseize Karakas out of the way. Everything on the table is basically lethal because it has 2 toughness and Plagon can make it powerful as long as they don't kill our Plagon. I'm just going to wait and try to process what they're doing here after they've done it. They don't have a troll or anything to reanimate. They could land Murktide. I'm pretty sure they're just dead. What do they keep? They kept Force, Animate Dead. Okay. Force, Animate Dead, Wasteland, Thoughtseize, and Brazen Borrower. Okay. So let them go to discard. They could potentially... Yeah, I don't think there's anything they can do here. I can regrow Force, but I don't have a blue card. I think Karakas just does it. Okay, they dumped a bunch of dazes. Interesting that they didn't daze the Tamiyo. I think this just ends the game. Yep. Wow, we did it. We beat the big bad. We didn't even have to Nadu. We didn't ever use Nadu. We just beat him with just value. And I do think that those forces on Ponders were correct based on how the game turned out. But I'll be looking forward to reading your thoughts on the match. See you in round 2. Round 2, we're up against a likely... I have no idea. They play a lot of mono red in other formats. This is not a keep. Man, brutal. We can't keep this either. At least we'll figure out what they're on. We often lose game 1 just because we're a control deck. I think we keep the combo here. So Tamiyo can undo our mulligan. And I think we're probably going to need her to. I'm going to fetch a basic island here just in case they're on Moon Stompy. And then we can get a Savannah for the second land. We had to go really deep, but we do have a combo a few turns from now if we find a land. Also note that I lost track of time, so we're down about 4 minutes. So hopefully this doesn't go to time because I'll feel like a fool. Our City of Traders. Is this going to be a Chalice? We can actually deal with Chalice. It's not great for us. But we can just use Stoneforge Mystic's ability to put the Shuko in. So we don't actually have to cast the Shuko. But we do have a lot of 1-drops in our deck that are invalidated. But I feel vindicated that I fetched this island. It's worth noting that if we actually get a Plains and they are on Moon Stompy, Kaldra is... Whoa! Yes! Exiling Blood Moon. Put that Velveeta in my veins. My goodness. I'll be so happy if I can just go get my Plains. They must have a second Blood Moon. Like, when would you pitch a Blood Moon? They may be new to Legacy and just be using the points that they have from a different one because they're playing extremely slowly. Like, I've already recouped most of the time that I lost just them thinking about what to do here. I think Fury on a Tamiyo is extremely aggressive because Fury is great late game and, you know, you can cast it out. Like, I get a clue. Who cares? Like, well, again, we don't know what's in their hand. This is what I looked at when I pulled them up. Like, lots and lots of mono red prowess, which I guess is like the red, like the standard version of Moon Stompy. They play mono red and Pioneer as well. Okay, now they're Chrome Moxing. They may have given up on Blood Moon because they saw the island, but put a Fury under it and they just didn't do anything. Okay, here's Blood Moon. One Ring. Oh yeah, that's actually fine. You know what beats One Ring? Freaking Cauldron Complete that you can't remove. Hitting you in the face for 5 every turn. That's what we're going to hope for. I beat this last night at my local, and it just felt unfair. Like, I think we just go get Cauldron. I'm going to feel pretty embarrassed if they Blood Moon, and I could have gotten... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this out, and Nadu may just never get cast, but I don't want to get caught without white when I have a Cauldron in hand. They may find another Fury to remove my Stoneforge, or they may have Broadside and throw something at the... You know, that's also a possibility. But like when you get a window against Moon Stompy to get your basics, you grab them, in my opinion. This can look really embarrassing, though, if they just remove this and we're just sitting here doing nothing because I fetched the Plains. Caldra is king against Moon Stompy, though. I'm like totally convinced of that. Okay. I mean, it's possible that there's an argument to be made that had I gotten Savannah there, they would be so preoccupied with the Cauldron that they're not going to cast Blood Moon. So maybe that was a punt. Maybe I should have just gone ahead and gotten the Savannah. But if they Blood Moon me off white, then I wouldn't be able to put the Cauldron in. So Blood Moon was kind of an answer. But for all they know, I could be on like Jeskai Stoneblade, which often plays like 6 or 7 basics. Because I open Basic Island. So that would be a reasonable thing to surmise. Best draw is probably a second Stoneforge. I mean, Trop would be fine too. But we're not going to actually be able to put out the Nadu. And I said Trop, I'd rather actually get like a fetch that can go get a Forest. Forest is in my deck for this exact matchup. Forest is a pretty terrible card in this deck. My opponent's giving me tons of time to think. Jealous. Okay, and now they legend rule that City of Traders and they play the broadside and they throw at Snapcaster or throw at Stoneforge. Surely they have more action than that. Still have 4 cards in hand. Had they waited on the Fury, they would have been able to kill Stoneforge. Okay, yeah, they do have more action. But they, importantly, don't have a ton of mana, so they're not really able to fully utilize the power of the ring if they're losing their lands every turn. Blood Moon. All right. This was 100% correct. Like every decision I made so far has been spot on. I'm proud of myself. Okay. So now we're going to end their entire career. They do have Dead Gone in their sideboard, but I don't believe they have anything in their main deck. They're going to just have to race me. The ring is going to help me as well. So they're dropping to 12. So probably 2 more swings with this and they're gone. I'm still at 18, so they're going to need to do some crazy shenanigans with broadside if they want to catch up. And they are opting to go deeper on the ring. It's worth noting that Calder can just hang back as a blocker if absolutely necessary, and we can let the ring finish them off. That's not really reliable unless we have a force to stop an opposing ring. Or the introduction of a second ring. Prismatic Ending would be good because I could clear the Blood Moon, and then I could deploy Nadu. But really, I think the game is really just down to, how fast they can kill me. Fable. That is a good card. Plagon does draw 2 here. And then we can hit for more with Stoneforge. Do I want to keep the blue up? Well, I'm sorry. I have to keep the... So we'll go ahead and draw here. Okay. So I'm going to attack with both. And then if they try to block, I'll happily just swap the power and toughness and kill this. Just to reduce their material, their chumpers. And then if they don't, then I'll just kill this when they attack with Plagon. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So they're not going to get any treasure token, which might be consequential. They could One Ring again here. We have nothing else going on, really. Plagon attacking for 3 is not nothing, though. I guess they're dead next turn. Well, if they tap the ring. But I think there's a high likelihood that they find another ring and play it. They've seen nearly a third of their deck. After they tap the ring, they'll have seen a third. Okay, they are tapping it to dead on board, so they have to find a 1 ring here to survive. And importantly, they'll have to cast a 1 ring every turn for the rest of until they can kill me. There's the 1 ring. Opting to keep the new one. It's a powerful card. Forest would be great here. There's Chalice out. Can't do anything here. I'll just pass. They're going to get a reprieve. They're not dead on board to Caldera, but Plagon... Oh, so greedy. Yeah. Maybe that's not greedy. Maybe that's correct. That seems exceptionally greedy when you already have 9 cards in your hand and you're trying to draw more. Maybe they're trying to find another 1 ring. So they would have drawn 3 cards for 1 life. That's not terrible. I don't know. When they spoiled this card, I was just like, oh boy. Can you imagine if people who talk about unbanning Mana Drain? The meta would just be Mana Drain 1 ring decks. It would be atrocious. Another 1 ring. Okay. So they're treading water here. And Kiki Jiki will be on next turn. So they could Pyro burn me out. Chrome Mox. I want to point out that they've got 12 minutes on their clock. And they're playing a Stompy deck. It is not inconceivable that we could time them out if they're going to play at this rate. Can't do anything. Pyroglyph would be pretty big. Artifact, enchantment, land, creature. No instants or sorceries. So it'd be like a 4/5. Also noteworthy that they play Trinisphere. I love it when my Moon Stompy opponent gets locked into that, but I'm not going to be able to do that because I don't have Wasteland. So Trinisphere is a legit threat here. They've got one ring left in their deck that they're drawing to, and they have to kill us. And I will tell you, this Caldera is not going to budge. We're just going to stay here and not die to crazy Fable duplication of Pyrogoyf and stuff like that. We're not going to give them an inch. Okay, they're tapping to dead. Again, they can totally kill us if they just have like multiple broadside bombardiers. It is possible, I think. A single bombardier, they can copy it and they can throw the One Ring and they can throw Moxen, and then they can do that again next turn. But they're going to die if they don't cast a One Ring here, because I will come in for the Death Hug. Pyrogoyf stops me for one turn. They have Pyrogoyf into, well, let's think about this. Pyrogoyf target me and then copy, and they both target. Oh, wow. Okay. All 4 One Rings. I said earlier that the way that they beat me when I have Caldera out is they keep One Ringing, and I guess I was right. There's the Pyrogoyf that I was talking about. Should hit me in the face. Then they can copy it. Then copy it every turn, and I just die. It sucks. It sucks, man. This is so terrible. Oh, all right. So we need a plow pretty badly. Well, plow doesn't answer it. Prismatic Ending on this would answer it. I think that's our only draw that saves us. Yeah, we're just dead to freaking... Oh, so sad. They can do this 2 turns in a row and just hit us for 8 and then hit us for 8 again. Yeah, they can even draw the card. Just the parting taunt. 1 life, yeah. Because we take 8. They didn't activate Fable last turn, which was a huge mistake. If they don't kill us this turn, they're gonna die to their One Ring. All they needed to do was copy their Pyrogoyf, and we would be dead right now. They copy it last turn, and then they copy it again this turn, and we'd be dead. It would actually like trigger 3 times because they'd have 3. Okay, they're evoking this. Yeah. Okay, they're copying. Now they're copying it. I think they can actually kill us with the One Ring trigger on the stack, so we do need to attack them. They have another Pyrogoyf. Broadside. Yes, okay, your freaking deck. My goodness. Yeah, like, why didn't you kill us 10 minutes ago? We've just been waiting. There's that quote, it's possible to do nothing wrong and still lose. That is not like a tragedy, that is life. It was Jean-Luc Picard, of course. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not weakness, that is life. Jean-Luc Picard. Love the guy. My favorite captain. All right. So don't beat yourself up. I'm not going to beat myself up. Like, I did everything in my power. And okay. But what I am going to do is I'm going to bring the freaking HEAT, because this deck, it is another one of those decks I'm not thrilled to play against for years and years and years. But it's not going to go away. I seriously doubt they ban the One Ring or anything like that. So we're going to have to be dealing with this indefinitely. So pack your Haterade. Okay. I have a sideboard guide. Let's check it. So against Moon Stompy, we're pulling 4 Ponder, 2 Plagon, 2 Tamio, 1 Stoneforge Mystic, 1 Savannah. I'm not pulling any of these Stoneforge Mystics. I will pull a Savannah. Actually, last night I pulled 2 land and that felt fine. So I'm going to pull a Rop. And then we're pulling the Halflings, the Plows. No, wait, the Ponders, Plagan, Tamio. Okay. I have to hurry. And I cut 2 of each because it's still nice to have 1. And I'll keep Nadu in just because there's the dream of just getting a Nadu on the table and oppressing them with it. I'm not sure about my sideboard strategy here and how optimal it is. All I know is getting Caldera usually wins the game. And that was extenuating circumstances. I mean, 4 freaking One Rings in a row, never being able to attack. My opponent has still not submitted their deck. Are they not going to sideboard? Maybe they did sideboard. Okay. So we'll see. I mean, sadly, this is probably a keep. We have Force Negation, Consign. Yeah, we don't have the basic, but we do have the Stoneforge. We just need a land. So I'm going to tread water until we find a land. I thought cutting Ponder was in my... yeah, I was supposed to cut Ponder, not Halfling. Oh, well. Mistakes were made. Ponder is a blue card for Force. I'm just going to keep everything up. So we're going to hope they do a big initial volley that is costly. That is going to be a Consign. Cast it when you can. It's not the best counterspell. I think we... Oh, there we go. Let's go get... Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and go and get it. I'm just going to get freaking Caldera again. I will get an island because that way I can Hydroblast next turn. I don't necessarily have to stop a Blood Moon. We're going to trust in Caldera here. It's worth noting that they have a lot of very explosive creatures in their deck that Force of Negation cannot answer. Fury. Their sequencing is puzzling to me, but it's all right. I know they're not new to MTGO. They have tons of record. They win all the time with Mono Red Prowess. Okay, this is another Chalice. My instinct is to go ahead and counter this so we have Hydroblast up later. Because Hydroblast is more flexible than Force Negation. And I don't really care about this Ponder. They have a Hydroblast. Okay, so that Hydroblast in our hand is not going to be castable this game. They're down to one card. We go get Prewar. And then we get Caldera into play next turn, even if they kill... Well, not necessarily. Yeah, Prewar. So we can bring the Caldera back. Or bring the Stoneforge back. Okay. So you're saying I'm going to get the Caldera. That is good for me. And we have an answer to One Ring here. We're going to go ahead and start attacking. They do have Dead Gone, but it's turned off. Wait, actually, no, it's not. The Gone part is still castable. Best draw would be like a blue card. All right, perfect. Let's come in for a hug here. I feel like we definitely have this game. So I'll just pitch the Hydroblast, and then I'll still have Force Negation up. I'll definitely Force Negation whatever I can. And hold the Force, because Force is vastly more flexible. That doesn't affect me. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy that bait. Another Force. Hashtag play 8 forces. This is like an Andrea Mengucci thing. Like, I thought he was crazy. I was like, how can he play 4 forces? He's playing it in 8 cast, 4 force negation. But now it kind of makes sense to me. Okay, they are very dead. All right. They've got 6 minutes to win, which Stompy can definitely do if they stop multi-queuing and just focus. Okay, so Delighted Halfling does give us some flexibility, but it's not a blue card. I'm kind of tempted to bring Plagon back in. He's a great card to break like parity late game. He's definitely easier to cast than Nadu, but Nadu is just like such a house. Like he's a 3/4 flyer that is difficult to target. I think we just keep the deck as it is. And you may be wondering like why I took out the Trop. I just want to maximize the ability to fetch early. Fetch my duels. In fact, because I'm going to prioritize fetching those, I think it does make sense to go ahead and take out the Trop and just not have a, like, I really don't want to have to be doing that. Yeah, we'll see if that comes back to bite me. But when you're going low on land, having an ETB tap land, not the best. And I think 18 is fine because Ford, who's also playing a similar deck, he plays 2 Wastelands. So we still have the same amount of colored mana. And I only do this in matchups that aren't Wasteland matchups, by the way. My opponent is using every second of their sideboard and clock. You know what? If they're going to be still thinking about that, I'm going to take out the Ponders and I'm going to put in the creatures. They're blue. They pitch the Force, but they're actually like castable and potentially impactful. Like these, Pondering feels really bad against Moon Stompy in my opinion. It's part of our mana base kind of. So we could easily find ourselves... Maybe I'll take out 2 of the Plagons and I'll put 2 Ponders in. Is it going to let me? I think it's too late. Okay. So we have to keep a hand that has land in it. This has land. This has basics. This hand is perfectly fine if they don't turn 1 Blood Moon. Let's see whether they mulligan. It's just that they have like 8 Blood Moon effects and it's like we have to get really lucky. Like, I think this is a mulligan. I think it's a disciplined mulligan. We could end up with a garbage hand after all this, but I'm not going to die to a Blood Moon. I play like super duper slow, and I still have 15 minutes on the clock. Like, I'm the slowest player I know. I don't know anybody who plays slower than me. All right, they've opted to keep. I am going to mulligan. This is what you look for when you do what I just called a disciplined mulligan. We got force. We got lots of interaction. We just have to keep them from killing us. And I think this hand does this. We can go get blue. We can go get white. Mox. Put a Fable under there. I will force Fable. Chalice over 1. This is a really annoying card because we have double Hydroblast. They went pretty, like, this is all they've got going on. Yeah, I'm not going to get locked out by this. I think we keep the Hydroblast. It's just more impactful. Like, this only stops One Ring and subsequent Chalices. I don't know. We could keep a split. Let's keep a split. Made it through turn 1. That is the best card in our deck. Let's go ahead and just pass with Hydroblast Consign up. Next turn, we are going to have to Stoneforge, and we don't have a way to get her back. Okay, I'm just going to do a nice clean Consign here. I think they're over-indexing on Chalice stopping us. I mean, it is annoying, and I am going to counter it, but yeah, I think I feel like I have to. Because you could argue, like, oh, you can cast it with Replicate later. Okay, we drew land number 3, but there is 0 chance that I'm waiting around here. I mean, I would love to actually play that out, and, you know, we have to get the Caldera because we don't necessarily know that another creature's coming. So my decision tree is, you know, against Moon Stompy, always grab Caldera, basically. It'll really suck if they have, like, you know, Broadside and they can kill this. Or if they Fury, I'm okay with that because that costs them most of their hand. Dead Gone deals with this cleanly. There's the Fury. They evoked it. 3 minutes on their clock. Yeah, and this is where if I had, like, waited a turn, I would be able to do differently. Okay, they are hellbent. We have a lot of good draws. Force Negation can be hardcast. That's okay. It's not spectacular. Nadu is a possible draw now. They don't play anything, so unfortunately we don't get to use any of our mana here. Tundra, I'll play it out. I definitely want mana because, I mean, I'm drawing to essentially just deploying a Caldera if the game goes on long enough. Plow, that'll keep us alive. Okay. They're playing fast now that they've got 3 minutes on the clock. Okay. That's a Surveil land. Okay, movement. Broadside. Just going to plow. Oh, I took out the Surveil. I mentioned, I remember I said it might come back to haunt me that I took out the Surveil. Well, yeah, that was dumb. Now Brainstorm won't do it. Okay, one more land and we're just killing them. We can go get a forest here. They are drawing like lots of random crap like Trinispheres and Trinisphere. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm not going to fetch because I want to maximize the number of lands in my deck. One more land. All right, there we go. Let's do it. I do have enough land, right? So we get forest, and then we get a Trop or a Tundra probably is more useful. Then we Caldera. Caldera comes down. We can't force a negation or protect this, unfortunately, but we can equip it to other stuff. If we find any creature off the top, we can equip. So I am optimistic that this will get us there. We have to dodge one turn where they could like One Ring. They could do the multiple One Ring thing that they did previously. That would be so annoying if they did that again. All right. Looks like now we're in the clear because we can just swing every turn. We got plenty of interaction up. We've got 2 forms of interaction up. I could instep Brainstorm this. Yeah, and I'll do that if they pass priority at the instep just to get this terrible Brainstorm. Like Brainstorm when it costs 3 mana is not a good card. Okay. None of these really change anything. Shuko actually shaves the turn off the clock. That's pretty good. So, I'll do it like that. I don't think they're going to kill me in one turn cycle. Okay, Shuko is equipped. Coming in for our Death Hug. Wouldn't you be freaked out if you saw one of these and it was wearing a Caldera? I have no idea what this creature is supposed to be. It looks like an abomination of nature. All right, our opponent's passing, and we're going to get the win. After a lot of hard work and a lot of waiting. Dead gone? Oh, they did have the gun. Let's do this. It costs the same as playing the, yeah. Right. And see ya. All right, we're 2-0. See you in round 3. All right, well, it looks like I lost some serious time there. I didn't realize the match had already started. I'm just relatively inexperienced at these challenges, so this is a situation where they most recently were on Cradle control, which doesn't have a lot of removal. I'm going to keep this hand that has the Shuko Nadu combo. I think I just open Island Tamio, and maybe they burn their removal on that. Uh-oh, they're mulliganing. They could be another Moon Stompy player. Like, I can understand if you're playing a lot of formats and you don't want to keep up with Legacy, like just play Moon Stompy because it's like way easier. They're on Moon Stompy. We are going to want to get a Forest. I'm going to hope that they're not on Moon Stompy. They're on Moon Stompy. This is not going to be a long game though. It's by far like the deck I run into the most. Okay, Once Upon a Time. So they're probably on Eldrazi. But they could be on, one of those other decks that I mentioned. Cradle Control. Last seen on Cradle Control, actually only a week and a half ago. Man, they play a lot of Legacy. Or they play a lot of different formats. Okay, yeah, I think that they're probably on... Reclaimer. It is a scary card, but... I mean, I think we just go ahead and attack here. We can play out the Shuko. They might have white for Prismatic Ending. I probably should have just surveilled there. That was a mistake. I am going to just get combat damage, I guess. I probably just should have waited, and I'm not happy with how I played this turn at all. Because I could have just cracked the clue. But Cryptic Code is very good at breaking through like a stalemate. The deck that they're playing generally plays... what is the name of the land? Talon Gates. They're going to come in for a hug. All right. I'm going to go get a Tundra. We're going to go ahead and Nadu. Would be stunned if they have anything they can do about this. Okay. It's 1 card. 2 cards. We got a land. Always yield. Okay. So we're going to get another one. Prismatic Ending is a great pickup. Okay. So we can just end this. I think that's fine. They can phase out our Nadu if they want to. We'll go ahead and create a clue as well and hit them for 1. Next turn, if we actually get to untap with Nadu, even if they phase out our Nadu, we can just play another Nadu. And that does give us a trigger if they try to phase it out. Ignoble Hierarch could potentially kill us with Critter Hoof here. No, actually they don't have the mana. They don't have good attacks. They could Endurance if we attack with Nadu. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's go ahead and start. I'm just going to start equipping. Okay, Stoneforge. Stoneforge can get Caldra. Is that what we want to do? I just want to dig for more removal. I think Stoneforge just getting Caldra is totally fine because it will give us another thing that we can target. And then Caldra should make pretty short work of them. The main thing is I'm just worried that they have enough mana to do something powerful. Okay, so Delighted Halflings, 2 more looks. They are thinking, which makes me think that they're going to activate this to go get the Talon Gates or something like that. As soon as they activate this, I'm going to plow it. I'm going to do all this before combat because I don't want them to Endurance. Okay, now we have enough plows that we can deal with other stuff. Life's a beach. All right, so we can still potentially find... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll just go get Caldra. I could have brainstormed beforehand. Mana, it seems like mana is always like an issue in this deck. Like we always could use more of it. Let's go ahead and equip here. Can we find another land, please? No, but we did find a force. So now I'm just going to equip Nadu and I'll just attack with both. And then when they activate, I can plow if they... I don't have any more creatures I can put in. I've got all my counters. I do want to plow before passing the turn just so I don't have to discard those cards. I do have a land drop to make. So I could, play the the archive here just to get a land out for next turn. Yeah, they scoop. Okay. All right, that was a very lucky hand. We only have one Shuko, so we're not going to get those types of hands very often. But when your opponent's not playing any removal, they bring it upon themselves. So I do think this is a cage matchup. Oh, how many? They're playing Natural Order. All right, let's go pull up a contemporary list. I was listening to the Wii Shop music during my break and eating chips and salsa. Just listening. Doot, 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 doot. My son is not in town, so we can't play. Oh, come on. Don't tell me my internet connection is off. Oh, my internet connection is totally fine. It is Magic MTG Top 8 that is off. Okay. MTG Goldfish is working. This is from a week ago. So I see 4 Green Suns. I see 3 Natural Orders. I see the need for all 3 of these. Again, they don't remove your creatures, so Prewar doesn't really do anything. They could snuff out. Other cards that we can pull. They don't interact with our mana at all, I don't think. They don't have Wasteland. Yeah, they have the 4 snuff outs. They don't have Choke. It's crazy that they're not playing Choke. Choke is such a good card. So we can take out our basics. I'll take these out. I don't think we can board them back in if we need to. I mean, that's pretty clean. Going down to 20 land. I was just complaining about not having enough land, and now we're going down to 19. Is that right? And yet I think it's okay. Maybe I just trim 1. I'll trim the Stinky Forest. And then what we'll do is we'll cut Halfling. Just because Halfling is, it's kind of, it doesn't really matter. Like they don't counter any of our stuff. And ramping is not as essential as just keeping them from ramping. I am keeping all 4 of my forces in, just out of respect for Natural Order if we can't find Grafdigger's Cage. It's unfortunate to 2-for-1 yourself against like their very efficient deck that like every single card is essentially a threat. Yeah, look at that. Like the sheer density of threats here. Sithcat Cub, White, Endurance. They do have a Traxa in there. This is a great hand. The reason this is a great hand is Plagon to refill and interaction for their first card. Yep, I don't think I go after that. So my philosophy has evolved, and I no longer go after Mana Dorks against this deck. I can just surveil and chill. I think that's fine. Every fetch gets every land, basically, so because we're not worried about basics here. They may be reduced to going for something like a Collector Oof to try to prevent us, not understanding how shallow our commitment to the combo is. This is a force. We can't deal with this if it resolves. So I will pitch a Ponder because Brainstorm can fix our hand later. And now we don't have to deal with that card for the rest of the game. And this is fine. I can just end that. Coming in for 1. Weenie Death. Okay, let's go get our Surveil. We don't need another bird. Yeah, I think I'd rather draw a 3rd land. And more removal. Oh, by all means. So I think our hand is fine. And I'm not going to Brainstorm this turn. I'll Brainstorm next turn. I'll just hold the other card up. So again, just emphasizing that you always go after their creatures that do stuff. Reclaimer. And I guess we go after Sithcat Cub. And then, of course, White Reliquary, one of the best cards in Modern Horizons 3 for fair gamers. I love it. Again, like if there wasn't so much oops and stuff, I'd love to play a deck like this. I really like this kind of, it's called Cradle Control. It's kind of a control deck. There's the Cradle. Green Sun for 2. That's fine. We have the Plow. Hopefully we don't have to use it. I would like to Brainstorm and shuffle away bad cards and get a 3rd land next turn. That's fine. They're going to come in for another hug. I'm not going to try to be mana efficient here. They're down to 2 cards. We're getting some favorable trades here. Force, not the best. I want to put it back. Let's Brainstorm. Can we find a land? Perfect. Tamio is too late to the party. She's a creature for Plagon. I think we have to keep her. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. And could redraw this, but I think what I'll do is I'll just Plow and Tamio this turn. Let's go get our white source. And again, it's important that you do this when they're tapped out because they have lots of nasty cards in their deck like one that immediately comes to mind is Legolas Quick Reflexes could be in there. So they're not going to get any value for that. And now we play out the Tamiyo, and hopefully they snuff this and not the Plagon or the Nadu. Plagon and Nadu is the combo, so we can still combo even without. All right, they're running out of cards over there. I think I just go ahead and attack, and I can brainstorm if they endurance. Okay, and now I can Plagon. If I want, I could play a Nadu and just have that on deck. But Plagon, there's a chance that we draw into like a force or a land that we can use to play like a Grafdigger's Cage. That would be great. I'm trying to think of how we die here. I think I'm going to just Plagon just to get this flipped. Plagon is a decent blocker. All right, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Now we have Grafdigger's Cage. I guess I can get a Savannah here. I've got plenty of blue. Plus, Plagon is definitely going to be able to block even a Reclaimer that has enough cards in the graveyard. Feeling pretty good. They're going to need a lot more colored mana sources if they want to actually cast Atraxa from hand. Next turn we have Nadu and we can start spamming. And Nadu can deal some damage. It may be worth it to just get this off the table. Let's go ahead and Nadu. Okay, so options. 1, we can plus. 2, we can just get back Prismatic Ending and end the Reclaimer. But if we do that, they can actually rotate, so that's not very good. We can get the Plow back, and then we can wait. Other option is just a plus. I don't think they have anything they can do here. I'm just going to plus, and then if they attack in, we've got like a pretty big blocker in Nadu. And we're getting close to just Tamiyo Ultimate, which I haven't done in a long time with this deck. I'm going to hold back. I'm not going to attack for combat damage. There is a possibility they play like something that could get rid of our Grafdigger's Cage. Their graveyard is very thin right now. Okay. Let's see what they get. Lair of the Hydra. Fetching. So now this is big enough. Lair of the Hydra. If they can... They have to tap all this before they can activate. So they can't count Lair toward the Cradle. If they attack with Elvish Reclaimer, I will 100% just regrow the Plow next turn, or the ending, and just deal with it. This could be like a Grist. This could be a Snuff Out. Force of Vigor. That is irritating. Okay, so what I think I do, I could Brainstorm and just find a Force. That would be pretty clutch. I'm not sure what they have in hand, but it's probably something pretty annoying. Let's see if we can find a Force here. We didn't find a Force. We did find this that we can put into play during our upkeep so we don't draw it. I can re-Plagon, re-Nadu. I'll do it like that. Oh, wait. Yeah, and then I'll just put this into play with Nadu. Yeah, that sucks that they're taking that out. I don't know how consequential it's going to be. Another Cradle. Okay, they've got 1 mana. Is this natural order for Atraxa? Okay, so we can still beat this. Their deck actually doesn't really get that many cards when they do this, and I'm going to just regrow a Plow. They've already played their land for turn, so they're not going to be able to activate Reclaimer to save Atraxa. They're going to get a few cards, though. We'll see what they get. Okay, they chose Forest, Green Sun Zenith, Once Upon a Time, Sithcat Cub. Okay, that's a pretty good hand. Okay, so I'm just going to regrow a Plow here. So first things first, upkeep. I'm going to go ahead and swap. This will put my land into play. Okay. Now, I draw the other Nadu. I'm going to minus. We're going to get a Plow. Let's plow this out of the way. So, Sithcat Cub could be a pain. I can swing for 4 here. I can swing for 7. I don't think it's worth it. Let's go ahead and see if I can find like a Prismatic Ending. That'd be phenomenal. Huh. Actually, you know what I should do? I should go ahead and target this just to dig a card deeper. Okay, another Plagon. Now, I think we have to Brainstorm to try to find an exile card. Oh, we found another Cage. That's great. We'll have to exile next turn, but that'll nullify the Once Upon a Time. I'm going to shuffle away both Plagons. No, I'm going to shuffle away this land. land for turn. Let's go fetch. I'll grab a Tundra here. Let's go ahead and play another one of these out. And I'm just going to pass. I'm not going to attack in. I'll do all my combat damage later because I don't want them to be able to swing back in and hit Tamiyo. Currently, if they attack with Elvish Reclaimer, we can actually beat it in combat. They're going to, once upon a time here, oh, they're going to play the cat. Okay, that's fine. And now they can play the forest. They can actually put this on Elvish Reclaimer. But if Elvish Reclaimer attacks, I'm going to double block and I'll just flip the Plague and Power and we'll definitely kill it anyway, even with the counter. Okay, they're onceing. So I can always just delete Tamiyo to get, another removal spell. Okay, there's a land. That was what they used their once for. So their hand is Green Sun Zenith, 1 unknown. Opting to put it on Sithcat Cub. So let's read this. The second time, double the number of +1/+1. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and just block here with both. And they can kill one in combat, but I have replacements for both. They're fetching. So they're going to get 1 counter, right? I didn't screw this up, did I? So they get 1 counter. They chose to double, but they don't actually have any counters on it. So they just didn't get anything, it looks like. I think they just punted. And now we just clear this and we can easily take over the game. So I'm not going to worry about my time. I'm just going to try to focus on winning this game. Their natural order target is already taken out. We've got the cage locking down their natural orders, or their Green Sun Zeniths and the natural orders. All right. You can kill one of our creatures. They could kill both of them if they have Snuff Out. Okay, they opted to kill my Plagon, which is fine. I've got a replacement. I think I am going to Plagon before I decide to kill the Sithcat Cub, but I do want to get rid of it. I guess I could just ponder first. I don't think these are necessary. Take the Force. I'll put the Flooded Strand on top, and then I'll target. Oh, no, I can't. I'm just going to shuffle. Okay, we got to land, unfortunately. Okay, so I'll Plagon first. Blue, green, colorless, Plagon. We get 2 cards. Okay, I'm just going to minus, and I'm going to get rid of this. Let's get Prismatic in here. I'm just going to go ahead and exile this. I guess I could have shoot code first. Oh no, did I tap for 2? Oh no, I cast with 1 color. I punted. My opponent said card advantage is super. I just punted. Yeah, we could die to this thing. They scooped. They didn't realize I punted. Okay, well I was going to Shuko. GG's. Yeah, GG's. I punted at the end. Good luck, have fun. Yeah, I mean, it was a minor thing. Like we were going to draw a ton of cards and everything, but yeah. Okay, cool. So we've got a little bit of time left before the next one. There's still 10 matches in progress. I'm going to eat some more chips and salsa, listen to the Wii Shop theme just to chill out, and I'll see you in round 4. We're 3-0. All right, we are currently in 7th place. Lots of 3-0s that we're competing with, but we have relatively good breakers. That doesn't mean anything in round 4. The swim I went on after my long work day was an absolute mistake. I am so wiped. Like the prospect of 4 more rounds, Sire of Mana. That's a cool name. All right, they play a lot of Moon Stompy. Surprise, surprise. And Eldrazi. Sneak and Show. Basically anything that has an Ancient Tomb in it. I get it. They play Nadu too. Yeah, I mean, like they could be on anything. I think basic forest into Delighted Halfling plays. I'm going to keep this. Call me crazy. If they freaking chalice me, I'm going to be so sad. But I don't think... I mean, maybe it is Basic Island into Ponder. We don't know what to look for, though. Mulling to 6. Gosh, what if they are on freaking Belcher? That's modern. Painter, Sneak and Show. If they're on Sneak and Show, maybe we get the Force out of their hand with this Delighted Halfling. I'm going to do it. I'm going to Basic Forest. Like, if they're on Moon Stompy, at least I'll have the colors necessary to play Nadu. We have access to all 3 of our basics if we want it, and I think I probably want it. We'll see. If they're just on Sneak and Show, which is a very powerful deck right now. Okay, I don't expect any sort of mana disruption from this deck based on their Island Ponder. They haven't historically played Tempo, which in my opinion Tempo's like the hardest archetype to play well. Now I feel kind of dumb for getting that, but just in case, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to make excuses for myself. I think we go ahead and we just ponder here. And if we don't like two of them, we'll shuffle. These are fine. Are they though? Cryptic Coat beats them to death. I like Tomeo. We don't have a way to shuffle. We can cast an uncounterable Tomeo. But then we have to deal with, I think we take the Cryptic Coat. And then we shuffle. And we can cast a Cryptic Coat next turn. For whatever that's worth. But I do want a Tomeo in play. If the game goes on long enough, we'll be happy we have this in play. If they just Ancient Tomb, Show and Tell, then we'll be sad. And we'll know what to expect for round 2 and round 3. Again, I want to emphasize control decks rarely win game 1. All right, interesting. So not an Ancient Tomb, but they have been showing like a dedication to red, which makes me think they're probably on Sneak and Show. Okay, so now let's go ahead and attack. I'm just going to attack with this, and then I'm going to brainstorm to flip, and then I can put back a bunch of bad cards. And then if we find like a Nadu or a Plagon, which would be insane, we can play it. Oh man, I should have played out my land just in case they have Spell Pierce. Okay, we didn't get punished. Unfortunately, we drew just tons of land that we don't want. I'm going to put these two back. She flips. What's better, playing a Cryptic Coat out or pondering for a potential force that we can use to pitch that Cryptic? I think I am going to ponder for a force. And I have no illusions that force is going to be sufficient. I'll just get another Tundra here. Let's ponder. We can always play out the other Halfling. There is a Plagon. We do have double Delighted Halfling. We can shuffle away next turn. I think we just Delighted Halfling and we hope we get another turn and then we Plagon. We can always regrow action next turn, but I think we're most likely dead. Like, I'll be very happy if they like stock up or something like that. Okay, Impulse. Here's the Ancient Tomb, I bet. No? Pedal. Okay. So we're not out of the woods. Again, if we resolve a Plagon, it's pretty good. But it's probably not enough at this point. Sneak Attack, we can't interact with. If they have like a Spirit Guide, we're probably just dead. Well, I will take that. Traxa probably can't be raced. Draw 3 cards is pretty good, though. Let's go ahead and shuffle away the land that we don't want. I get a Trop here. No, I don't care. Yeah, I'll just max on my Tundras here. Blue, colorless. Plagon. And, I mean, we're like super dead to that. We don't have any main deck answers to that. We have to get like Nadu combo going here. Double Force. Again, this is already, the cat is already out of the bag, so to speak. So options. 1, we could just Plagon and draw 3 more cards. 2, we could, I mean, if they put in Emrakul, we're not necessarily dead. We have a lot of permanents. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plus here. And I'm tempted to just put in Cryptic Coat. Just because it's 2 more permanents to sack to Emrakul. And then we can dig for, no, yeah. We'll do this. And we'll start hitting next turn. Interesting, they chose to force that. Well, I'm not going to fight over that. Maybe it's just because they don't want to deal with the permanents. Maybe we were supposed to force there because that would be 2 permanents. Is this Emrakul? It's Emrakul. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We lose 14 life. We lose a lot of permanents. We could keep the Tomeo. What are they? Are they attacking Tomeo? They're attacking Tomeo, so we can definitely sacrifice her and save a bunch of life. Okay, so Annihilator is going to resolve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're keeping 1 land, and we're keeping these, and we're going to just Plagon and hope to draw something good. I mean, I don't know what we could possibly draw that could get us out of this. That does die. Get shuffle back in their deck. They need to find another one. They have 2. All right. Let's Plagon. We still have 17 life. But we just don't have that many lands left in our deck is the concern. All right. We can go get Caldra and potentially kill them with that. I do think at this point it might be worth just going ahead and pondering and trying to set up some better stuff for next turn. We can keep... There's the Caldra. I don't really want any of these cards. I'm going to go get Caldera anyway. Prewar could bring back a Plagon and draw more cards, though. I think we want to put the gas pedal. I think we want to gas pedal them, so I think Caldera is the play here. I'll just take the Brainstorm, I guess, and yeah. We have Force of Will in case they're like trying to cantrip. Like, it's sad, but I think I forced their cantrips at this point. They don't have any attacks or anything. Land? Okay, great. All right, let's go white, colorless. We're going to get our Stoneforge going. We'll just go get the Caldera that's on top of the deck. Now we go ahead and we attack. Just attack like this. I think this is correct just to maximize damage. Then I'll go ahead and use this ability. Take 4. We have 6 permanents out, so if they find another Atraxa, that's just GG. Okay, I'm going to force this. They're going to get shared. They're going to cast Shared Summons here. I'll force pitch force. They have 1 card left. They're fetching to Surveil. They have to find a threat, or we're dealing potentially, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we can't kill him in one swing. We don't have the mana. Oh no, I was supposed to tap that. Now I can't attack with Plague, and that was dumb. Oh my goodness, that was so dumb. Yeah, if the game comes down to that, I'll be very disappointed in myself. I could be dealing 3 damage, but instead, yeah. But I mean, they're still dead next turn. But if they have it, then we lose. I force literally anything they cast here. They have it. They have Atraxa maybe? Oh no, it's Emrakul. Okay, so we can survive. We just don't sacrifice the Caldera. It doesn't get much closer than that, folks. That was a heck of a game. I'm so glad I captured that on film. I never win game 1 against these decks. Actually, I guess at the tournament, technically, I 2-0'd against this deck at the 2K the other day. So Hydroblast comes in. Force Negation comes in. Consign, I think, is fine. Prismatic Ending probably comes out. Like, they may just use stack-based interaction stuff. I think all the plows come out. Like, it does suck when they get like a Atraxa in play and you can't deal with it, but we can take out some lands. They might try to Blood Moon us. I'll take out Savannah. I mean, I'm worried that we're going to take out all our lands and then we're going to get Emrakul and we're not going to have any land left. I'll just take out 1 land. These Delighted Halflings are pretty powerful here. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to take out here. I mean, like, pretty much everything is gas. Cryptic Code's pretty slow, but it is an equipment. Oh, we can take out Prewar. And if we're taking out Prewar, we could take out a Stoneforge. I mean, Caldera is actually like a pretty good win con. I don't want to take out Tomio. Maybe we don't bring all 3 consigns in. We just bring in 2. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're playing 1 ring. Like, all these decks always play 1 ring. Yeah, I'll just run it like this. The key card is the Force Negation. And then we'll see. Like, maybe if they play 1 ring, then we'll bring the consign in. All right. This is a snap keep. We have turn 2 Plague, we have Force Negation. We have consign as well. It's a freaking rad hand. Ponder. Okay, Cryptic Code is a blue card to pitch the Force. We're just gonna. Oh, I'm gonna go. Tundra. I'm gonna go Savannah, and then I can hold up. I can get a basic island with this one. Yeah. The reason I'm getting Savannah is just because I want to be able to get basic island just to respect. Oh no, I took Savannah out. I'm a fool. All right, well, if that's the case, we have to get a trop here. Yeah. The fatigue is showing. Even though I'm getting lucky, I'm not sure that I'm playing great. Okay, Boseiju, you don't say. My favorite card. Uncounterability. OP. Yeah, we're pretty screwed. If they show and tell I can put in Caldera, that's not nothing. All right, so I'm going to go get a Tundra here. Or should I get a basic Plains? I don't think we need a basic Plains. I'm just going to ignore the Blood Moon angle. Get the right mana for what we need. Blue. All right, let's Plague in here. This does cost life. Okay, we got some cards. Yeah, I mean, we're in a very good position if we get a chance. but we may not get a chance because of Boseiju. I have nothing in my deck that interacts with lands. I don't think this is a matchup where you want to necessarily bring in stuff. Okay, they're fetching. They could have Show and Tell. So it can't be countered. So we're going to put Caldera in. And then we can force a negation, whatever they do. We just have to hope it's not Emrakul. Atraxa is bad for sure, but we can't really race Atraxa. We'll see what they get. They have Omniscience in their deck. They have a Daze. If they keep Daze, then I can't force negation. Yeah, we don't have a way to get rid of Atraxa other than finding Karakas, which just puts it back in their hand for sneak attacking. And they did keep sneak attack. They chose Lotus Petal, Cunning Wish. Do this Lotus Petal, Volcanic, Cunning Wish. Okay, so they only got 4 cards off of it. So it's not as bad as it could have been, I guess. Wait. Yeah, okay, Cunning Wish is the instant. Okay. There's the Lotus Petal. Okay. So we need to stop the next thing. They don't have a creature that we know of. What is the play here? If we Cryptic Coat, the thing is they're gaining 7 each turn. So we're getting the first crack in for 5. They hit us for 7. They go up to 24. With Cryptic Coat and Plagon hitting. Yeah, I just don't think we can get there. I think we probably have to play Cryptic Coat this turn. Because they're going to hit for 7. Yeah, we can't equip. We'll hit basically for 8, but they're lifelink. The best thing we could do is... Oh, I think what I need to do here is Stoneforge. I get a Shuko I can equip. Yeah, I'll do that. And then what I'm trying to do is just dig deeper into my deck. Well, I get another creature, so I have Plagon, so I have another shot at finding a Karakas. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. And it makes sense to go ahead and Surveil here. Yeah. So we'll get Shuko because that does more damage. And it's also the only equipment in our deck. I'm going to play it out like this. Equip here. Let's attack. We're never going to be able to attack with Plagon, unfortunately. And we don't want to anyway, because if they block, they're going to gain a bunch of life. Yeah, so we have Surveil, and then we have Plagon to draw a bunch of cards. And in the meantime, we can force. So we'll have to force the Cunning Wish. I won't necessarily force the sneak attack. With the Boseiju out, does it make sense to counter this? I'm not going to do that. We do have 3 turns, assuming they don't add to the board. Thundering Falls. We don't necessarily need to force Cunning Wish. Okay, let's Surveil. Again, just looking as desperately as we can for Karakas, which is the one answer in our deck. That is going to go in the graveyard. We are looking exclusively for Karakas here. Blue, green, whatever. Plagon. This will draw us 3 cards. Hope Springs Eternal that it reveals a Karakas. We will keep the one that it can attack, I guess. Trigger goes on the stack either way. Oh, and of course, this is like the one color it is not is red. We didn't even find a land, sadly, so we can't try to put Cryptic Coat into play this turn. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm. Just further looks for Karakas. We're digging as deep as we can. We didn't find it. I think the game's over. We can brainstorm again next turn. So I'm not going to concede, but like super duper bleak. We'll just put this back and this back, I guess. I mean, we could always Stoneforge for nothing just to clear our deck to increase the odds of brainstorming into it. I will attack. If we had enough mana, we could potentially equip this to a flyer like a Tamio or something. But we're not going to get that much mana in time because we're dead in 2 turns. Uncounterable. Okay. So this is the Cunning Wish that's uncounterable. So I'm not sure what they're going to get, but we're learning more about their deck. Rushing River. Okay. I will choose to discard this Brainstorm or no. I'll discard one of my redundant forces, I guess. Yeah. Boseiju soloed us. We would have had plenty of interaction here. They're actually high enough in mana that they could just recast her if they have some more petals. I'm not sure why they've got Rushing River, but just like as a way to get rid of this in case they absolutely need to. So the play is Stoneforge Mystic for nothing. And then Brainstorm and hope that we see a Karakas. That's literally the only out. But I always play to my outs. If they have Rushing River, we can't counter it because they'll just use the Boseiju to page the life. They have plenty of life thanks to Atraxa. Oh, also, even if we get rid of this, they can just sneak attack it back to hand. Or they can sneak attack it from hand. Please sacrifice a land. Okay, yeah, that's uncounterable. All right. And they bounced our Halfling as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by Stoneforging. Again, this doesn't make any sense, but it does maximize the number of looks we get for Karakas, which doesn't really save us. But, okay. Now we'll Brainstorm, and we're dead. Let's see. Karakas. All right. So knowing that that's in their deck, I still don't think it's correct to play around like what's probably a one-off. Yeah, we just had to beat them faster. I did not see any reason to keep Consign in. I'm tempted to take it out. I mean, it stops the Atraxa trigger. I guess that's the reason. Maybe we do want to keep some plows in just in case we get stuck with her so we're not drawing to just one out. With how fast Boseiju comes down, I don't think Harbinger is a viable answer to it. I mean, plow just feels wrong when we could have Consign, which probably doesn't do anything but might do something. All right, I'm going to executive decision. Like if Atraxa resolves, we're just going to assume that we're not going to be able to win. Because usually it's not going to be Atraxa, it's going to be Emrakul or it's going to be Omniscience, and then we're dead. I think we just have to stop it. How can we stop it? We can bring in Harbinger. As clunky as that is, I think that's actually the answer. It's possible maybe we can lock them off red. I didn't see any Basing Mountains. Okay, we'll do this. I think this is a better strategy than boarding in plows. We have 8 Force of Will effects, and so adding some blue cards isn't going to hurt. We're on the play this time. Force hand. No force hand. Okay, well, this isn't really keepable. Plagon, Tamio, like, yeah, but we can't keep this. This is a Delighted Halfling. We do have the Karakas that we were looking so desperately for. I don't think they can interact with that. We have the combo. This is a keep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Halfling, and then next turn I will Stoneforge Mystic, and I'll also cast the Shuko. And then the next turn I'll Nadu, and we'll start Naduing with 3 creatures. We don't have room in our plan for Ponder. Let's put that back. We're going to go super linear here. Like we're going to hope to not interact. I know it's lame. But I said kill them quickly, and you know what kills them very quickly? Nadu drawing like all the forces and all the other good stuff. I didn't necessarily need the 3rd land though. That was probably, maybe I should have kept the Ponder and put back the Tundra, but then I wouldn't be able to cast the Stoneforge. Hydroblast is quite good. Okay, so hear me out. We just hold up Hydroblast just in case. It might be relevant. White, colorless, Stoneforge. We're going to go Shuko. We're not going to play it out because next turn we can play out Nadu. They did have Daze in their deck, but that was when they were on the play. Game 1. I think. All right. Surveilling. Put a sneak attack into their graveyard. Okay. That may mean they have a sneak attack. I like a redundant one. Brainstorm. Please just let me do my Nadu combo. My little Nadu combo. Come on. I'm not trying to do anything too degenerate here. Just some good old fashioned Nadu. Established 24. Okay. No plays. Okay. So we could have played that out, but all right. So here's what we're going to do. Green. We do need to go ahead and play the Shuko, don't we? I'm going to play it. No guts, no glory. Now we're going to go blue, green, blue. We're going to get 2 triggers if they go for our Nadu. Because we get the Shuko trigger. This is uncounterable. We should be able to find a blue source in the top 6, assuming they don't have interaction here. Unfortunately, they do have interaction. So we're pretty screwed here. And again, this was where, like, if I had played out the thing, but I was worried they were going to do something last turn. So we do get another trigger. Can we get a land, please? We don't. We get a force. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to go ahead and hit him for 2. And then next turn, we will ponder to see if we can find another one. Yeah, not feeling great. I don't think it was incorrect. Like, because we could have died if they'd... Well, maybe... No, it was probably correct to go ahead and play the Shuko the previous turn. Then we would have had the Hydroblast up. Yeah. There's the Beseju. So we really do need to hustle here. Oh, no. Okay, so I think the play is Ponder. We can always Delighted Halfling if we absolutely need to, but let's Ponder first. We were looking for Nadu explicitly. Plagon's not terrible, but does it win? Okay, so let's think about this. So we can't do anything. Plagon just draws 2 cards, and they can show and tell and have us pretty dead. We could just shuffle and find like Stone Cold nothing. I'm going to do it though. Okay, now our option really is just a Delighted Halfling. If we Delighted Halfling though, we don't have anything up. We Ponder again. What could we find? Nothing we can play because we need 2 cards. We need a land and something to tap. So we go off of Hydroblast and we just have double force effect for next turn. I think that's what we have to do, sadly. We do have Karakas. So they're going to need to deal with that somehow. So they have to take like an Omniscience line. And Omniscience lines we can force like their cantrip type card. We don't have anything we can put in off Show and Tell, which is kind of embarrassing. Okay, Show and Tell. Unfortunately, it has to resolve. Sneak Attack. Okay. We can deal with that. Okay, so option 1. Just get this off the table. We have plenty of counter magic. I think I am going to play this out just because this way I have Hardcast Force Negation if I need to. They went to a lot of length to get that on the table. I think I'm going to Ponder and just see if I can find the Nadu here. Caldra is pretty strong. We can just put that in. We can equip it. We can swing for 8. Hold up Force. I kind of want to keep Karakas up, so maybe we just swing for 7. It doesn't really matter. Again, we've got Karakas up, so like worst case scenario, they're going to have to Omniscience and Emrakul in the turn. Same, like they're going to have to do something like that if they want to get us. And I don't think they have either of those cards because it would have made sense to put Omniscience in. Oh, I should have attacked for 1 more. That was a misplay. We do have mana to pay for days now, though. I'm always looking for the bright side. Always look on the bright side of life. Well, on the bright side, we're 4-0 in this major tournament. Just crushing. Unfavorable matchup. Yeah, there was what were we going to draw? Harbinger eventually, which would have shut that off, but it would have been pretty late. I mean, Calder's been getting it done. I'm glad I put this in the deck. See you in round 5. All right, round 5. We're up against a fan of the channel with a hand that needs to be mulligan, but let's see what they're on. If they're a fan of the channel, they often are playing like some sort of tempo. Oh, it looks like Eldrazi, maybe Delver. Yeah, could be anything, but this hand doesn't work. Looking for mana. Fortunately, this doesn't work either. Opponent is mulliganing as well, so I don't feel bad mulliganing because okay, this sucks. But if we're gonna keep this, we can't mull any deeper. I'm gonna put back Stoneforge. I'm gonna put back a Brainstorm. Is that right? I'm gonna put if we find Nadu and a land, then we'll be happy we kept this Stoneforge. It's pretty hard to cast. I think I'm gonna put it away. Yeah, we can't do anything except force their crazy turn 1 play if they have one. Delver. Okay, so this is their own Delver. That's not a bad matchup for us. We're gonna be able to basic into Delighted Halfling. There's a high likelihood that this kid stays, but we don't have any counterplay unless we draw land. We don't. I'm just gonna play the Delighted Halfling, and we'll pass. Might actually force to defend the Halfling if they try to bolt it or something. They're gonna check themselves. Okay. We are a few minutes down. I had some work thing come up, so I was doing that in between rounds. I really prefer leagues where I just sit down in that play. I don't have to wait. I know that sounds like a first world problem. Okay, Brainstorm. So they did flip their Insectile Aberration. I don't think we're going to win this game. Yeah, those mulligans were just atrocious. And it does happen. We're playing a 3-color deck. But you can't keep 0 landers or 1 landers. So, yeah. That's one thing I've definitely learned about this deck is it's exceedingly rare when you can actually do the Island Ponder Keep thing. That doesn't usually work out. Not with this deck anyway. Maybe with like Jeskai control. But this deck is way too mana hungry. So we're taking our first 3 of the game. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. They do have access to a Bolt for our Halfling. If we could get a Nadu, it would be so clutch. I think I force a defend. Okay. Force will probably be aimed at like a Murktide or a DRC. I don't think we have the luxury of waiting for the Murktide to arrive. I think we need to go ahead and just force whatever we can without risking days. So we really need this to be a land if we want to have any chance of survival. That's not what we're looking for. We're going to chill. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I'll just swing for 1. They're not going to be able to hit our forest, so we'll have days protection on our forest. They could double days of force. This is a big Merc, or a little Merc, so we'll force this for sure. I'm going to hang on to the Brainstorm because now that I have Cauldron in my hand, I am looking to get rid of it. They force back. Not the end of the world, but close. They're considering not forcing, but I saw their life total change. Okay. So we definitely need Nadu now. Well, we need a land, and then we need Nadu. I think it's probably too late. Nadu will slow the bleeding a lot, and it can't be countered. They're down to 1 card. I mean, like, we could totally claw back into this. I'm glad I put the... I'm glad I kept the cantrips just in case we do find a land. Oh! Alright, I think we're dead. Because they hit for... they hit for 16 over the next 2 turns. It's exceedingly unlikely that we survive. I'll keep it going. We have time. We're actually like kind of equalizing the clocks a little bit by waiting. Because they are playing slightly slower than us. Yeah, there's no way that we could draw both the planes. But we could like find a land and brainstorm. But yeah, we're not going to find a removal spell. We can find a Tamio and throw that in front of. Yeah, and we still have... We're not going to win this, but I played my outs. There's the Tamio. It's too late. Well, not technically. Technically, we're still alive. Show them that we're playing Tamio, I guess. Who is it? Reed Duke is famous for just never conceding, basically. And there have been lots of games, like a few games probably this league or this tournament, where concession was probably warranted and I didn't concede, and I probably still lost. But like you will occasionally run. Like last night at our local, I played a game against Moon Stompy. They had like Blood Moon, they had Chalice, they had like everything, but I had Plains, and I eventually got enough mana to like play out Caldra and then equip it, and I eventually overwhelmed. Yeah, this an exercise in futility. All right, let's go to the sideboard. For this matchup, it's very simple. We just take out some... I don't like to take out forces just in case we get in situations like this. Let's take a look at our sideboard guide here. Yeah, I just do take out the forces, though. All our cards are good against them, is the thing. Hydroblast is even better than... I don't think Harbinger comes in. I think it's a trap. Prewar is very, like, prima facie good. Like, they're going to be killing your stuff. You can bring it back. We absolutely need all our lands. Halfling's awesome against them. Plagon's not great because he's a grounded blocker. My opponents had tough mulligans. Yeah, it happens. The important thing is just to don't get salty and just understand its variance. Build your deck to minimize variance, but when variance comes your way and it's not favorable, just let it happen. And don't get tilted and keep stuff thinking that like the numbers are not going to work out the way they are. You can always get lucky, but you can always get unlucky as well. Sorry, I'm not saying anything that is useful to do. It's like I'm some football coach giving terrible advice or something. Okay, so let's hope to not have the no-landers. This is a guaranteed Stoneforge if they don't daze. We don't have a blue source. We may not ever draw a blue source. I think this is a mulligan. This is better. Plow hand. We just put back a Nadu. I am so tempted to play on basics. However, we do want to find a land. We might not have the luxury of playing on basics because, I mean, we need more mana. So I think I am going to Surveil and Sep, and I'm just going to hope they don't have a double waste hand. I'm going to try to avoid giving them anything to daze. Yeah, if they have the bobble, that's brutal. They have the bobble. Yeah, that's really strong. I said this matchup is favorable, and it is, but yeah, so I think at this point, like, we can't be cut off white. We could just go get a Plains here. Okay, let's think about this. We have no way to look for a land, but we are taking a land out of our deck if we do this. We can always just plow, and then next turn we could decide what to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plow to get this out of the way. We could get lucky and draw a land deck if you're listening to us. Okay. Opponent will know whether we're going to draw a land. All right. We'll see what they do with that information. It's a brainstorm. I do want to get rid of this pretty badly. I don't want to get dazed. I'm just going to plow and pass. The reason you get rid of this is what brings the Murktide. Like this paves the way for Murktide. And it also gives them lots of incidental selection throughout the game. I think there's probably a wasteland in our future here. If they don't waste, I'm going to definitely go fetch. Okay, great. So I'm going to fetch Surveil here. Yeah, that happens. We can't do anything about it. And this is the Ponder that sets off the chain of Surveils. If you are unfamiliar with Delver play patterns, I've got lots of Delver videos on my channel. I think it's a great deck. It's just high variance. Like sometimes you just completely destroy it, and other times you get destroyed even though, and it's just almost always comes down to your mana not cooperating, which is why I'm so inclined to just fetch a basic here. I think I'm going to wait and just brainstorm. Could draw land. Okay, Prewar doesn't do anything here. So let's go ahead and brainstorm, and then we're going to hopefully spike a land. And if we don't find the land, our deck hates us. And we had good luck for the previous rounds, and our luck's run out. Oh my goodness, are you serious? So terrible. Okay, well, we definitely don't need this Prewar. We don't need the Nadu. I am going to go ahead and just... Oh, wait. We have an extra Plagon. Plagon's probably better than Nadu because we don't need to fetch green. Yeah, sadly, I'm going to do a very defensive play. And I'm going to just go get a Hydroblast, and I'm going to attempt to blast this. I don't want our opponent getting any more value out of it. If they have the days, they're going to just, like surveil and stop us and just be so far ahead. We did shuffle our deck, so we could find another land. Yeah, they do have the days. Yeah, we're just getting destroyed here. And I don't think it's because of bad decisions. I think it's just bad variance. But as I said earlier, you just have to take the variance when it comes and be stoic about it. Nobody wants to hear your bad beat. Like, playing a 21 land or 20 land deck and I couldn't find any of my lands. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay. They are hitting for 3 now. We have Tomio next turn who will kind of like pass. We're not going to throw Tomio in front of it yet. Delver, if they play another beater, we're like screwed. Okay. They didn't play a beater. They do maybe have bolt up. Gosh. Okay, so I am going to... it's more important that we resolve the Hydroblast on this. I'm going to attempt to do that. And then I will, subject Tomio to potential days. They just had everything. Oh, okay. This is not necessarily them stopping me, but it's probably them stopping me. They might see a wasteland here. I do think I need to go ahead and strike with the Iron's Hot and Tomio here, even if it gets dazed. Because if we Tomio and then we do find a land next turn and we play again, we're cooking. Please give me this break. I really need this to resolve. No, they have a force. Oh my goodness, we're just getting destroyed. Absolutely destroyed here. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. Like we took a disciplined mulligan. Yeah, but you have to play this Tomio out, and they know that they're what have they been? So they kept the top card. They're going to do 6 next turn. We'll be able to crack a clue and maybe draw a card if they don't waste us. I swear this has a positive matchup. Like our deck is well equipped to beat them. We're just not drawing the cards we need. It could be deck building. Like the fact that we don't really sideboard very much here. I think Hydro is great. We've attempted twice. Or I guess we did successfully remove one of the DRCs. Yeah, they're just filling their yard. And again, I hope I don't sound too doomery, but like this is just an incredibly savage beating. They still got 2 cards, and they're going to draw another one after that. We're just lucky they haven't wasted us yet. There is a world in which we're able to attack, create a clue, and Plagon, and that Plagon is not disrupted. There is a very small window where that could be possible, that they don't have a daze. Holy guacamole, is this really happening? Okay, we did find a land. This has to get a non-basic. I I think I am going to Plagon here just because flipping Plagon. Wait a second. Will Plagon do it? Let's think about this. The issue with Plagon is it doesn't stop these and they can just go and murder Tamio. It gives us a window to potentially Nadu though. I think I like Naduing here. And I'm going to get the Savannah so we have a white source. We're just going to hope. Hope springs eternal that they don't have one of many cards that ruin this line. But if Nadu sticks, Nadu's very good against them. Yeah, they're fetching. So what is this? This might be an emergency brainstorm, but it also might just be like a Hardcast Daze. Pyro. Seek the Beast. Okay. So this could reveal one of those many things. They get 3 looks. Wasteland of the Graveyard. I'm fine with that. Oh my goodness, what did they exile? Double land? Is that for real? We're so lucky. Holy cow. We might actually survive this game. They have to attack. They don't have bolts readily accessible. They are going to be able to make a pretty big questing druid here. Wow, that was just like the worst freaking questing druid of all time, and I'm here for it. All right, we're going to take them off Delver, or we'll take them off this. And if they want to go after him, at least we'll get a look. And we did remove one of their threats. We are in double bolt range until we draw a Plow. Plagon is going to draw a lot of cards, though. If they just play this questing druid out, I'm totally fine with that. Like, I know it's more pressure, but like I'm totally fine. Okay. Can't believe we're still playing this game. Okay, here comes Giant Merc. It's not good. So unfortunately, if we Plagon, we flip Tamio, we lose our blocker in the sky. We could throw Nadu in front of. We really just have to hope that Plagon reveals like land and Plow. Oh wait, we can't get Plow back. This is a 6/6. How is this so small? They didn't make it full size. They must have another one coming. Or maybe they fear Plow, which is a very reasonable thing to fear. Okay. So sadly, we can't both attack and Plagon here. I think we just have to Plagon and hope. We're going to get 3 cards. Flip Tamio. We have to chump here, though. Gosh. The other alternative is we just wait. I don't think it gets better if we wait. We could crack, maybe get a Plow. I'm just going to Plagon. And we'll have to lose this Nadu, but and we'll take 3, and we'll probably be dead to Bolt. I'm pretty sure that's the correct play, though. I don't think cracking a clue and waiting around is good enough. We could find... Yeah, let's do this. Come on, land. Come on, Plow. Land and Plow. 3 cards. That's not terrible. I mean, that's a land. We can block bounce. We can block here. We can bounce, get a trigger. It's not spectacular. Next turn, we get Stoneforge Mystic and we go Infinite. We don't have the mana to do that, is the problem. If we get a land off top, maybe. So we're going to take... This probably won't be big enough to kill. Again, like all this is, we have to see whether they have a bolt. If they have a bolt, the game's just over. Seeking the Beast. I can't interact with that, sadly. They found another Merc and a Delver. I'm not sensing much hope here. Here's the other one that grows the original one. Yeah, we'd have to have an epic turn. I'm not even sure if it actually is possible. If we spent 3, put Nadu in. The only way we survive here is if Nadu flips a land. And we have to lose our Plagon now. So we don't even get that many triggers. Okay. So we are going to block. Holy moly. Yeah. You are living the dream over there, the Delver dream. All right. So we're going to block here. And now we're just going to Karakas. And this is like, if we hit land, we have a chance. If we hit Plows, we need 2 Plows. Tamio. Okay, that is a chump blocker, but I don't think that does it. They've just got too much pressure out. We're at 4. They opted not to attack Tamio, so we can get back a Plow. It's not enough, though. Okay, so Stoneforge gets Karakas. It's just not enough. We don't have enough chumpers. We Plow here. We could Plow our own guy. That's not good. The issue is there's no way we can get enough blockers. we could take, okay, so hear me out. We play a land, we play Tamiyo, we play Stoneforge Mystic. We play Stoneforge Mystic, we get, it's too expensive. We plow one of them. This is a 5/5, but it doesn't matter. We still can't beat it in combat. The mana has just been the crimp here. And I think the fact that they were like left to do stuff unchecked for so long. So Stoneforge for Shuko. Stoneforge gets thrown under this bus. We have Nadu. We can't Nadu and Stoneforge and Tamiyo. We can plow and Tamiyo and Stoneforge though. And then we have this off the table. We block this. We take 3. We're at 1 for the rest of the game. That doesn't sound good, but that's the only thing we can do. And then we have Nadu the following turn, and we'll have Shuko. And we won't have anything but Nadu and Shuko, but maybe we get somewhere. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to minus here, and we're going to plow. This also kind of presupposes that they don't have interaction. Plow the big one. Now, Tamiyo. Now, blue, white, Stoneforge, get Shuko. So we do have the ability to block bounce, and then we can deploy this when we deploy Nadu, and we'll have 6 mana. So 1, 2, 3. So we will have 4 triggers with Nadu. But again, we're at 1 life, and these creatures are not going to go away. They're going to survive all this chumping. And if they draw a bolt or anything like that, the game's just over. They drew a land. That's fortuitous. They can still play this out and have yet another attacker. So we're going to block here. Block here. After combat, we'll just Karakas. Take 3. All right. Do you have any other plays? You should play this out. They should have played it out, but maybe they think there's a sweeper. Maybe it makes sense. If there's like even like a tiny chance that I have a sweeper. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and go green, blue. Actually, just in case they have like a blast, it makes sense to go ahead and play this out first so I can equip. Green, blue, colorless, Nadu, Hardcast Force. They got me. They got me. Yeah, okay, and that's why they didn't play out the Questing Druid. Yeah, well played, opponent. You are an S tier. I mean, you're S tier beating me. That's for sure. I just got completely destroyed here. See you in round 6. We are 4-1. All right, round 6. We've hit the Nightmare matchup, and we're on the draw too. This is black-white. This deck is a nightmare for us. It basically has all the value creation that we have, but it's got just like tons of threats that we have to deal with. And it does have Wasteland, so we need to be cognizant of that. Disruptor Flute could come out. This Doorkeeper Patrol is really bad against us because it can shut down Stoneforge Mystic and the ETB of Plagon. So I'd be willing to bet that that's going to come in. A White Orchid Phantom is not that big of a deal, but we are a 3-color deck. We do have basics to grab. They probably won't bring those in. Lion's Sash doesn't do anything. Why is Lion's Sash in if they don't have Stoneforge Mystic? Lion's Sash is a good enough card on its own, but obviously they're getting. They got 20th place at a Legacy Challenge just like 2 days ago. All right, so we're gonna wait for them to arrive, but let's think about our strategy here. So, assuming they're on that deck, they played Karakas. 2 Karakas. Such a nightmare. Almost everything in our deck is legendary. So I think Caldera unfortunately they have Prismatic Endings. How many Prismatic Endings do they have? They actually don't have Prismatic Ending. They just have Plow. A couple of Reanimates worth noting. Thoughtseize. 29 creatures. I mean, their deck is like basically all creatures. And they're not playing Vile, so it's just like even more juice, essentially. I do think that Caldera is probably viable. It's worth noting that Doorkeeper Patrol does shut down Caldera's Living Weapon ability. So Caldera probably won't be good on the draw, but we might be able to sneak a victory with it. I think the way we win is that we somehow, we thread the needle, we get Nadu going with enough creatures that we can draw. Like Cryptic Coat's pretty good because they don't have any mana acceleration or anything like that. Prewar is going to be good because there's a likelihood that some of our creatures die in combat or get Thoughtseized. So I think the most important card in our deck is going to be Stoneforge. We don't have anything to bring in from the sideboard. I don't think any of these cards come in. So our opponent still hasn't joined. We'll just wait and maybe we'll get lucky and they won't show up. But this is going to be a grinder, so I'm not going to be far from the computer. We got our hand. This is a Stoneforge hand. I don't think we had the luxury of mulling here. And the reason we don't have the luxury of mulling is they just have so many things that we need to deal with. Force is pretty bad too. Oh gosh. We keep this. We could island, ponder, try to find a white source, try to get Stoneforge in. They're keeping all 7, of course. Cards that will counter. We're definitely going to counter Felia. She's like a real workhorse of the deck. This card is brutal, and it's not even something you can kill conventionally. I don't think we're going to be able to play on basics. If you look at this hand, it's almost kind of like already a mulligan since there's force there. And what do we force? It's not even clear what we force. I do like the double removal, but again, that's not going to get us very far. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. I think this matchup is so skewed. Like this is like the 2080 matchup. Oh, okay, they're on something else. All right, well, that's a huge relief. Whatever they're on can't be as bad as what we were expecting them to be on. So a Stompy deck. Now I'm thinking we just Island Ponder. Yeah, if they're on Moon Stompy, then we definitely will want this basic. This doesn't play. Let's shuffle. We have Brainstorm next turn if we absolutely need to find a land. Let's hope we draw a land. We have 20 lands in our deck. If they're on some sort of combo deck, like this is One Ring, we're forcing this. Thought here. Okay. So I don't think we force. Well, if we don't force Thought here, then they just take the Brainstorm and we're just stuck. I think we force this just for momentum. I don't feel good about forcing it. Yeah, and I'm glad I grabbed the basic. I won't necessarily be glad I grabbed the basic if we get Brainstorm locked here. We didn't get Brainstorm locked. Okay, so I do think we hold the land instead of playing it out. This Prismatic Ending may not do anything. The reason I think we don't play the land out is because we do want to be able to Stoneforge. And we don't want to waste them to waste us before we Stoneforge. So I can shuffle away the Prismatic Ending, which probably doesn't matter. Nadu is a good card, but I think Caldra is going to be the play here. We Stoneforge, we get Caldra. So we'll put this on top. Yeah. And we'll probably pitch Nadu to force this time. Or maybe we pitch Brainstorm and hold Nadu. Yeah, I mean, Nadu would be good, but I think we have to Caldra instead of Shuko here. Okay, and now they have uncounterability. The good news is we do have 2 Stoneforge Mystics. I guess I could have put Plow on top since I was going to draw it. They spent a lot of mana on this. Yeah, I'm just going to force it. This may seem reckless, but it's like something we can force now that they have this out. I'm in the business of forcing whatever I can. This also makes it less likely they find a second Kozilek's Command, which can exile our Caldra token. They could have a Wasteland, but we are going to get a shuffle, so we are not going to have to redraw that Prismatic Ending. They're low enough that if we can get Caldra out, and if they can't K-Command it, we can still win. And it is definitely Caldra here. It could totally get stuck in our hand if they have a Wasteland. But if that happens, the game's over anyway. They're unlike, I haven't seen City of Traders in one of these decks in a while. What is this? Is this another K-Command? Because they don't have any Eldrazi that cost 5 to cast. Okay, this is a second K-Command. Just an insane card. Exile our creature, and then they can scry and draw. We'll see how many cards they put on the bottom. They bottom all 3. That's great for us. Okay, so now we're going to hopefully draw land. We didn't draw land. We do have the option of pondering before we Stoneforge. I feel like doing that because I really do want to hit land here. They could just kill all of our land here. Like, it's a real risk if they have Sowing Mycospawn'd. I'm going to ponder. There's a good chance I hit a land. I hit a land. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to put these back. I think I do need to get the... I get a Tundra. They can exile and waste. If I get a Plains, they can't take me off white necessarily. I think I need to keep white. So I'm going to be a coward here. I don't think it's a coward thing. I think it's a tactical decision. I think I've justified it. I'm going to go Stoneforge. We'll go get our Prewar. If the game goes on long enough, which they haven't presented any threats, Prewar is good. We can use Prewar to get back Stoneforge if they kill it through some sort of like non-exile based means. Yeah, maybe actually Prewar was probably a mistake. I probably should have just gotten Shuko because then I could Nadu Shuko if they exile my, or if they dismember. If they dismember, it's fine. But I don't think they play main deck dismember. Here is Sowing Mycospawn'd mana. It's all also Devourer of Destiny mana. They're going super low. What is this? Another K command. Oh, Devourer. Yeah, that sucks. I really wish I'd grabbed the Shuko. I do have a Plow for this. They have 2 cards left, but they're going to gain a bunch of life. Okay, so we don't have any creatures in our graveyard that we can bring back. I'm just going to go... I am going to preserve my life total here. I'll Halfling and I'll just Plow this. They could drop a Chalice at any point that invalidates this. I could have waited till their turn, technically. Wasteland. Okay. We're lucky it didn't happen earlier. We can still Nadu here if they don't kill us. Monolith. Okay, wow. They're running out of gas. They have like a very big mana type deck. Still nothing in the yard that we can bring back, so I think it's just Nadu here. And then, yeah, we can start beating for 4 each turn. They've used 2 of their 4 K commands. They're doing more damage to themselves. This could be... Gosh, if they exile our lands, I'm going to be so sad. Yeah, this is the mana for it. Okay, we'll have to see which land they target. But they can... Importantly, they can go get Iougin, which just completely destroys us. It's so messed up that this can go after basics. Yeah, there's Iougin. So they have long game inevitability now. Next turn, they can just go get a Devourer of Destiny and devour our Destiny. I think we swing in. I'm going to block with Halfling just to get... No, I don't have the mana to deploy a Prewar. I'll do it like that. And we'll just hit for 3. They are low in life. If they activate... we are going to get a trigger. They have so much mana. Do they have like Emrakul or something in their deck? Like, why do they have so much ramp? They could get Utlamog. That would be devastating. Looks like they're going to use blue to bounce. Okay, we get a trigger. Plagon would be great if we had mana, but they've taken care of that. I'll just take 3 here. Not going to sack a creature because I need the clue to maybe draw a card. Land, please. Okay, so Ponder could find a land. Could find a Plow. Let's see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they'd have to pay a lot of life, but they could go find an Eldrazi here. If they go find another Sowing Mycospawn'd, they could just exile our last land. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Ponder. I need to find a land. I'm not sure if I'm like missing something. Oh, that's great. We don't want Archive. Gosh. Oh, man. So we can't fetch the forest with this, and that's our only basic land. So they just go get Sowing Mycospawn'd. They get both of our lands. This deck is such a nightmare to play against. I will draw a card, though, after combat, and I'll draw the second land for next turn. That's really all I can do. If somehow we're able to use our lands, Plagon can come down and can turn this in. Well, this will flip. They are going really deep here to go get Sowing Mycospawn'd and exile our lands. RIP LAND. The land on top of our deck is a freaking... Yeah, so they can... Yeah, Sowing Mycospawn'd. They'll just nuke our land and then they'll waste... And this is why Sowing Mycospawn'd makes Eldrazi the best control deck. People don't think of it as a control deck, but like... You just control your opponent by never letting them have land. Oh, they're exiling that? Okay. Wonder what land they're going to go get. Probably just another Eldrazi Temple. Oh, guys, Cradle, that does a lot of mana too. They do have 3 creatures after all. Yeah, I feel like we'll go and draw a land here. We're going to draw another land. I don't think we'll live long enough to use it. Okay, so options. We can just play another... We can play Plagon. Flip. That debuffs their squad. maybe draws us into like Force or another land that's not Meticulous Archive. That wouldn't be too bad. I think that's the play. So let's go ahead and come in for a hug first. We're not quite dead. We're going to take a lot though, but Tamiyo will, debuff them to the point that we survive. We'll take 5 instead of 8. We'll draw 3 cards. If one of those is Shuko, we could go off next turn, assuming we have mana. So we have to take this ping. I think it makes sense to go ahead and grab another Tundra. Yeah, that's the more important color. We need several plows probably at this point. I mean, if we can tread water, we just play Tamiyo. She flies and she attacks for 3 with Plagon out. If our opponent misattacks, if they attack with everything, we can just hit back with Plagon. But I think they're, let's see, 1, 2, 3. They don't have enough mana to activate Eye of Ugin without tapping these. Okay. These cards don't save us from death. I think the discard is the Nadu. Maybe it's the Tamiyo, the Redona Tamiyo. No, Cryptic Coat can do it too. But again, we have to survive long enough to attack. I think we just pitch Calder here. Because there's like no way that we're going to get Calder into play. It'll be slower than just casting a Nadu. If my opponent is comfortable going to 1, they could activate this again. Yeah, I'll keep the land just in case like we somehow get in some situation where we're still alive. And the Tamiyo flip was important. Cryptic Coat and Nadu are both excellent here if we can just get either of them. If they contribute more to their board, we may not be able to catch up. Another Wayscape. Is this death? Okay, they're exiling that. That makes sense, and that's not a big deal. But losing Plagon means we lose our blocker. Now they can attack Tamiyo to death. And they have a blocker back. I mean, this is a control deck. Like, they have creature removal, bounce, like they can exile artifacts and stuff. K-Command. This is not death for me. If they don't go for Tamiyo, we can just buffer or pluser, but I think they are going to be smart enough to just kill Tamiyo here. We're at 1 life, but we don't have any hasty beats. We don't have any direct damage. This is not a Poe Master deck. They know it. Yeah, I think they're going to kill Tamiyo and they're going to attack me with the other one. They send both the spawns at her and then they attack with that and they can get a damage on me. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's any way we can survive here. Prismatic Ending doesn't do it. These are 2-drops. We could exile one of them. We could Halfling Tamiyo. Prismatic Ending doesn't kill anything. I think we scoop. Yeah, I don't think there's a victory here. If you see a victory, leave a comment with a timestamp. I don't want to burn more clock. This is a really close game, and this might go all 3 games. Okay, the good news is we have cards for Eldrazi. We have the Consigns, and we have the Harbingers. I'll consult my sideboard guide. We're taking out 4 Ponders, 1 Tamiyo. The reason is Ponder, you just don't really have time. There are versions of this deck that don't even play Ponder. I mean, it's not exactly this deck, but like not a decks that don't play Ponder. But with Chalice, and their bigger mana, like they might, there's a non-zero chance that they're playing something like Trinisphere. I mean, we could take out Prewar. It was pretty embarrassing there. It was in my hand the entire game, and there was just nothing. Yeah, I think Prewar actually comes out instead of Tamiyo. Oh, wait. This is not... Yeah, I'll just do it like that. I still think Stoneforge is important as a 4-of because Caldera is really good against them if you can stop. It blocks like none other. It just sits back and every time they want to attack in, they're going to lose a creature. And then you have to stop the K-Command. Actually, it does die to Devourer Destiny. This hand's a keep. This is a snap keep because we have Halfling, we have Cryptic Coat, we can start beating them. We can get Tamiyo going eventually. I do want to get Halfling into Cryptic Coat and just start the beats because they do damage to themselves. They have that damn kicker creature, the Wayscape Battle Mage, so they could get rid of the Cryptic Coat. If we draw Plagon, that's the nut draw right there because then we immediately draw 2 cards. Chalice would be annoying. We can't deal with Fleshraker right now. Chalice for 1. Thankfully, I can still play Tamiyo. but I'm going to wait and do that until after I've got Crypticoat beating face. It's unfortunate we drew yet another land. Let's think about this. I think Crypticoat is the path. We'll just have to hope that they don't have... I mean, if they have Devourer Destiny, it's a few turns away. I have to undo. I just use that. Crypticoat. Yeah, I sadly lost like 30 or 40 seconds because I mistapped the... okay, and let's see what we get in there. Oh, a Tomio. That's not bad. I think it's more important to clock them. If they waste, I'll be so happy here. Please waste me. X equals 1, so they're getting rid of that. That's sad. It's worth noting that because they got rid of that, I can no longer deploy the Tomio. I do have a Tomio that I can flip here, but I'd rather deal 3 damage a turn than get a clue at this point, I think. We'll see what I draw. It might become important to do that. Oh, because we're drawing such terrible cards, I am going to go ahead and turn her over. And then we can play this. I'm not going to bother fetching. Yeah, there wasn't a way that I could... we'll go ahead and just crack the clue. The other thing we could do is just bring this back to hand instead of cracking the clue. And then we can redeploy it next turn. It's slow, but we have nothing going on. And as long as I keep the mana up, I can bring this back at will. Like if they try to devour it or something like that, or kicker, Wastegate Battle Mage. Thought Seer. I'm going to let that resolve. Please waste me. Dismembering her. Did they pay the ward? It doesn't have ward anymore? Oh no. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Yeah, I didn't realize turning it over would remove the ward, but it's not on the Crypticoat, it's on the actual creature. So let's bring this back. I think that's more important to redeploy than it is to draw a card here. Consign's a great rip. Let's use these lands to cast. That way I still have Consign up. Oh, Consign will get countered, unfortunately. Yeah, never mind. They are low enough that we're kind of racing them. Okay, Sowing Mycospawn'd. No, this is Devourer. I mean, these last 2 rounds have been absolutely rough. Yeah, they got it. Now they have like a clear, and again, Consign was locked out, unfortunately. I don't even know how I clear this with this Chalice out. Let's see what we can draw here. Do we want to surveil? If we draw like a Nadu or something, we want to play it. Okay, Plagon's fine. It's not great. If we turn this over, we get an extra draw. I don't think we have the luxury of doing that. I think this is just a chump. I'm going to go ahead and play Plagon just to get a card deeper into our deck. I want to make sure. Well, I probably could have gotten it. Yeah, we're just getting 1 card. Nadu. Okay. So we do have Nadu spam next turn if we survive. I think what I do is I take all 10 and then we start Nadu spamming and then we can chump. Assuming they don't start exiling our lands or something, then we have Nadu spam. If they have Sowing Mycospawn'd, we won't have the land necessary to play Nadu and activate a bunch. One thing we can consider doing is instead of Nadu spamming immediately, Kevin, okay, that's fine. This is not a terrible matchup, I think, but we didn't make good decisions or we got unlucky. I see the man in green here. This is going to exile some of our lands, unfortunately. Just a beating, absolute beating. Like we've gotten Sowing Mycospawn'd so many times here. So we play Nadu, we get 1 activation. That's how much mana we'll have. They'll probably go after the green. If we're lucky, they already have a Wasteland out, so they can. Yeah, they got yeah, they've just been disciplinedly not using their Wasteland, I guess. Well, I am going to just take it. There's no benefit to blocking here. I'm not sure what we can do here. The fact that they didn't waste us is a gift. This doesn't do enough, sadly. Let's go get green. They have eye, so they can start doing their endgame thing. So here's what I think we do. I think we wait and we can chump and kill. Or no, like these will kill, and then this will be a block. And then we'll have no material left. But we will get a couple Nadu triggers out of or at least 1. If they're smart, they'll Wasteland. They may not realize what's going on. They are at 9, but I don't think it's going to matter. They may not have wasted because they're hoping to activate Eye of Ugin, which if they do that, that's actually better for us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they are opting to wasteland here, so we're going to have to go ahead and do this. So we get a trigger. Land, please. Stoneforge. Okay. That land is gone. So again, we thought we trade with Thought-Knot Seer. We chump. We're still alive. Assuming they didn't just draw something else that's relevant. I mean, they're 27 land deck. Why would they ever draw anything relevant? Another Thought-Knot Seer. I can't stop that. Yeah, this is over. I mean, I can't think of a way that we win, unfortunately. Yeah, that was just an absolute beating. So we just went from 4-0 to 4-2 pretty quickly there. We are going to have to win the final round if we want to have a chance at top 8. I think we might have a chance at top 8 if we win the final round. Let's see. But stick with us. And again, like bad variance, but I do think it's a good matchup. And the reason I think it's a good matchup is we have lots of tools like Plow and stuff like that. We have Prismatic Ending for their Chalice. We just didn't get the right stuff. And they got so many Sowing Mycospawn'ds. My goodness. Round 7, we're up against an unknown opponent who does play a lot of red in other formats. There is definitely a chance that they're on like Moon Stompy. I couldn't find any legacy for them. So I think a lot of people just have like the points from other events and they can play. Yeah, like literally no legacy. I don't know if there's a way to filter by legacy. It doesn't look like there is. Okay, so I think my instinct is they're not likely to be playing something like, Espervile or, Bant Stoneblade or something like that. I think they're much more likely to be playing some sort of combo deck here. This hand just doesn't work. I'm going to mulligan it. This hand could work. It has Basic Island. We could open Meticulous Archive, and we have Basic Island in a Cryptic Coat, and maybe that can carry the day if they Blood Moon turn 1. We are on the play, which is nice. I think I just want to keep and open Meticulous Archive and probably put back the Tundra. We can fetch it. But I am going to hang on to this Basic Island just in case Blood Moon comes down. Because Cryptic Coat is a very powerful card and can solo. That is something I probably want to keep. We'll see whether we get whether there's a turn to cast it. Okay, I was right. Oh, Goblin Guide. Okay, they're on Burn. Well, Nadu's pretty good against Burn. Force is fine. I think we just want to ponder here. And if we find like a Delighted Halfling or something, that's good. If we find a Prismatic Ending, I'll be happy to end that. We could go ahead and Island first. Yeah, I think I'm going to Island Prismatic Ending just in case I find a Prismatic Ending or Plow. Delighted Halfling could be good. I think I could just play with the Tamio and block. I'd rather take the Tamio here than the Halfling. Just in case I need to pitch it to Force. No, I'm playing the Tamio. Yeah, I think I'll take the Halfling. And I'm just going to play this out. And this will... Oh, I freaking could have set up the land to where we got to land off Goblin Guide. That was dumb of me. Sorry, my excellent friends. It just didn't even occur to me. It's been so long since I played against this card. Bolt Wave. Okay, I'll take 3. Yeah, I screwed up that Ponder so bad. It's going to haunt me now. I do think this is a Force, and the reason is it just blocks. We could pitch Cryptic Coat. We're going to Nadu next turn. Again, Nadu avoids. Oh, they're not even going to attack. Okay, so it didn't matter, actually. My punt was not punished. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get a Force here just to minimize the amount of damage that I'll take off of like a Back to Basics. And we're going to start trying to dig out of the card deficit from that Force. I'm fine if they want to use 2 cards to kill Nadu. They could have Fire Blast and use that. But if they Goblin Guide, they're just bolting me directly. Okay. Echelon or Eidolon, that is an annoying card. But they are almost out of cards now. Prewar Formal Wear. Okay, so hear me out. We just keep Nadu back as a blocker, and they keep drawing cards. I don't like it. If I can find a Plow, it's worth plowing this just to get it off my back so I can deploy other cards later. This Prewar could be good. They may attack with both, And that would give me an opportunity to go ahead and block Eidolon. Yeah, I'm going to keep the Nadu back. I'm not going to try to race. I'm going to try to card quality them. And guess, let's see, I didn't play a land yet, so I should go ahead and draw just in case I draw a land. Soon we can flip her. That actually gets Caldera, and that is pretty good. We do take a ping from that. They're opting not to attack. This is good for us. Okay. So, unfortunately, I just can't afford to brainstorm here. Yeah, I don't want to take, like, every point of life is absolutely important here. Let's go ahead and get white, colorless, Stoneforge. We'll take a hit. Once we get low enough, we're kind of within Alpha Strike range. I am kind of thinking, oh wait, we could just Shuko. We could put Shuko in and we could start going to town with Shuko and find Plow. I think that's better. Yeah, I'm going to do this. This is going to cost me life, but I believe it is correct to do. Ouch. They may already, for all we know, they may already have a card in hand. Okay. These are actually kind of actively bad if they have Price of Progress. We're looking for Plow. If we get enough lands, we can Prismatic End. We could pay 4 to Prismatic End if we find it. That would be worthwhile. This is the Price of Progress that I was worried about. So there's nothing we can do here. We fetch, we just die. We're taking 4 either way. So I think this is a concession. We could brainstorm and find a force. That's pretty, that costs us a lot of life. I guess I'm going to do that because that's better than just dying. Okay, we did find the force. So Prewar can go back. Not liking our position here. We do get a flip Tamio though, which means we could replay another Tamio. Okay. Let's plus. I don't think we play out the Tamio. And the reason is we get one more trigger, right? That's the Prewar. I should have shuffled that away. Yeah. Yeah, we can't afford to fetch. I don't even really feel like we can afford to attack, but I am going to attack. We're not winning if we aren't attacking here. So they take 4. We move the Shuko back. Yeah, they can attack. We can kill one of these attackers. Eidolon is the one I've got my eye on. If they have just like a bolt or something, the game's over. If they find like a land or something, then we might have some game to play. Another Eidolon would be annoying too. It's not legendary. They take some damage from that. They should attack with both. It would be a mistake not to. I'll take 1 damage. And I'll kill one of their creatures. All right. We've got to find Prismatic Ending. Let's go ahead and start equipping. There's a Prismatic Ending. Land. Gonna do this. Another Stoneforge. Okay. So what we can do is we can equip, we can attack. I think the first thing that has to happen, and I don't think this is optional, is we do have to just take this out. So we don't take any damage. We could minus and we can do it to the other one too. And then we could, we wouldn't have any mana to play out other creatures though. We're basically hoping that they whiff. Like if they don't whiff, we're just dead. Yeah, I'm going to plus here and I'm just going to go ahead and move this over here and I'll just attack again. They are getting low. If they whiff again, we might be able to win because I can regrow the Prismatic Ending, but I think they're probably just going to bolt us and kill us here. Okay, wow. That's very good for us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and... they may just have it. So the correct thing to do is go ahead and start equipping first. 1, 2... just in case we find like a force. Okay, now I'm going to go get my Prismatic Ending. Okay, and we just got super lucky here. Okay, and now I can go get the Caldera and I can hit him with Caldera. Do I have the mana to do that? I have to fetch twice. I think that's fine because it will kill them. So if they have like a needle drop or something like that, then they can win. And I believe this is lethal. Oh, it's not lethal. Holy cow, it's not lethal. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. They dropped a 1. Yeah, that's embarrassing. But let's see if I can... Well, force doesn't even matter here. What could I find? I should have done this before combat. It's not even going to matter. I'm just wasting time. Like, basically, it comes down to, like, do they have... And I shouldn't have fetched the planes out. It doesn't matter. All right. Do you have the card? Let's discard 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I wasted lots of time there on my clock. I'm just going to F6 through the turn. Okay. They drew a creature that doesn't win, so now we can just attack and win. It's crazy. We got so lucky. So lucky, despite like my questionable plays. And I am really tired. Again, this is round 7 after a long day's work and a 1K swim that was inadvisable. Okay, so Hydroblast comes in for sure. That is an easy substitution. Cards that aren't particularly good here. We're going to be fetching basics. You could definitely board in Force of Negation. I don't think it's great. Prewar might play a role. Calder was great. Halfling is kind of bad in the sense that it triggers the thing and it's hard to cast if we're fetching basics. I think that's an easy cut. Maybe I take one more out and we bring in the Force Negation. I don't know. Maybe they are going to have the ability to Hydroblast or Pyroblast stuff. So maybe we keep one in. We could definitely cut land. I think Savannah could get cut. And then we bring in the Halfling. Yeah. And the goal is just to get Caldra and try to finish them. We don't have Batterskull. Batterskull's like incredibly good against burn. All right, but now we know what they're on. They know what we're on, but that doesn't really change their game plan. Like their game plan is pretty much the same against every deck they play against. This is a force hand. This has the combo. We have Meticulous Archive and Brainstorm to potentially find. We have a redundant Nadu that we can pitch cast. My instinct is to keep this just because Brainstorm can find it, but it doesn't have basics. We don't even really need Nadu combo. We just need the Caldra. I'm going to mulligan this. This is a much better hand. Yeah, because we still have the combo. I'm going to keep. I think we just put back one of the Nadus, and then we can open. Yeah. So we can open Delighted Halfling. If they open a creature, then I'll plow that. Because you don't leave the creatures. Holy cow, they mulled to 4? What are they looking for? Okay, well, that's great for us. Okay, and they don't even open creature. That's so good for us. Okay, I am going to go get a Trop here. I can't avoid it. Like, we do need to have access to both colors, even though it's going to hurt us if they have back to basics. And they can't really, because they mulled so deep, they can't really afford to bolt our creatures. They really need to be aiming that at our face. Okay, Eidolon's annoying, but we will answer him real quick with the plow. If we answer him with the plow, we can't do anything else this turn. We could just put Nadu on the table and start attacking. I think that's totally fine, and we can plow next turn. We take an extra 2 damage, but we're doing more damage that way. And if they do answer him, we get a card. So they could just blast him. That deals 2 damage to them. We get a card. It feels greedy not plowing. This might be blast. Yeah, let's see. We get a trigger. This could be force. It's not. Okay. So they did take some damage there. Now they can hit us for 2. Yeah. Maybe plowing was correct. And now we're in the same situation where it's not like we do need to plow. Yeah, we don't have anything else going on if we don't plow. I think I'm just going to plow here. And yeah, I think I made a huge mistake in not just plowing and taking my medicine, as Bosch and Roll says. Swinging for 1, I think is fine. If they have like Swift Sphere or some hasty beat, we're not going to want to block anyway. Like, well, Swift Sphere might be blockable, but 3 cards in hand. Another Eidolon. Well, we're gonna have to plow that again. Gosh, like they had the right cards, but luckily we can plow first and then we can Nadu again. Ouch. We have 2 cards. Blue, green. I'm trying to play kind of quickly just in case there's a game 3. I mean, you wouldn't think there would be a game 3 when you're playing against Burn and they mulled to 4, but there absolutely could be one. Next turn we Stoneforge and we just value. Play against pretty good, but Stoneforge just ends it. Not ends it, but it gets us to the end, closer for sure. They could have like that card that blows up an artifact and does 3 damage. I do think this is correct. Always yield. We're going to get a bunch of cards here. Hydroblast is great. I just need to... Okay, there's a non-basic, unfortunately. It's kind of scary because we're putting ammunition in their hands. If they have Price of Progress, if they mold aggressively to it. Plow is good. We can plow our own creature if absolutely necessary. Caldera is quite good. We can put that in next turn and try to end the game faster. So we are done. I'm not going to play any other creatures. I want to keep Hydroblast up. Let's go ahead and do this. And I can attack with both. And then we can move the Shuko back to Stoneforge so we can trade with a Goblin Guide. And we will discard... Oh, we won't discard necessarily. What is this? Focus on me? Okay, that resolves. Okay, discarding... I think we can discard a Stoneforge at this point. We could discard Cryptic Coat. I'm going to discard... Well, Prismatic Ending could kill another Eidolon, which would be annoying. Okay, I'll just do that. I'm trying not to overthink just in case there's a game 3. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with... I should go ahead and... well, let's see. What if they have... I have to keep up blue no matter what. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Just I know that I could flip a bunch of lands and make myself dead. But the temptation to like find more Hydroblasts or Forces is very real. We're getting lucky and we're not hitting non-basic lands. Force. Okay, I think I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to tempt fate. I don't believe they have a way to get rid of this, so I'm going to go ahead and equip this. Oh, that does trigger again. Okay, let's go ahead and go to combat. And we can just attack like that and keep this Delighted Halfling back. So they're on a 2-turn clock. Move this over here. And we will pass, and we're going to discard a ton of stuff. So I am going to go ahead and pop, just blast this. Okay, and now we discard 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know that I would cast Plagon, but it's probably better than casting another Nadu. Because we can win with Plagon if we need to. I don't think I'm casting these. Okay. They could have pop, but it won't kill us. They could have like Fire Blast and pop, and I need to force. They can't have a combination that wins, I don't think. Oh, wait, they get a card for the turn. Yeah. All right. I am just going to attack with everything. I can brainstorm if necessary to try to find interaction. We did it. Oh, so we're 5-2. I think we have a decent chance of top 8ing. Let's take a look. I just want to go take a nice relaxing bath. Somebody went 7-0. That's crazy. That's really, really freaking good. We're 5-2. There are already so many 6-1s and 5-2s. I think it's extremely unlikely that we top 8 here. I would like to respond in the top 8. Oh wait, these are ended matches. So there is a possibility. I'm pretty sure if we look, I'm not sure how to calculate. Like they don't show the. Can you see the win percentages and stuff? Show tiebreakers. Okay, what does that mean? I don't know how to read any of this stuff. I've never gotten this high up in one of these online tournaments before. My tournaments have been pretty bad. My opponent win match rate has been 75%, which is the highest by far. I think that's an important consideration in terms of tiebreakers. Let's take a look at the record again one more time. Either way, I'm in the money. I'm definitely going to get like a bunch of play points and stuff. This has been really fun. So I'll come back in like a while, and it'll be instantaneous for you. And I'll just see. We'll see whether we're playing top 8. I don't think I'm likely to play top 8 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, if I have the best tiebreakers, I might make it in. These people playing are also potentially playing to make it top 8. None of them have tiebreaker. Like I have the highest tiebreakers of anyone, I think. That's not true. Some people that dropped. Okay, but I definitely have the highest tiebreaker of anybody playing currently. So maybe that's a feather in my cap. We'll see. All right, we're back. We just missed top 8. Look at that. We're number 9. We did have the highest opponent win match percentage, though. But we had a 5-2 and we needed 6-1. So no harm in that. Like there were lots of 5-2s that didn't make it. This is a pretty big tournament. So I had a blast. I don't really have any thoughts on the deck list. It felt great. I don't have anything I need to tighten up, in my opinion, other than maybe my play. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to hope to enter more tournaments as they give me the points to do so. I don't like to pay money to enter the challenges and then sit around all day, but if they're going to give me, enough points from playing leagues to enter these, sure. Somebody mentioned like, why aren't you still paying to play? The creator program is not yet open, so I can't yet apply. I'm pretty sure I will be able to get like a creator account after that, though. I think Caldera was pretty amazing here. It helped us close games where we might not have been able to close in time without it. It was good against Moon Stompy, and I'm pretty happy with how the deck performed overall. The losses to Eldrazi and to Delver are, Eldrazi is just a tough matchup all around. Even with 5 sideboard cards, I don't know that we're necessarily going to be able to win that one, but I do think it's probably 50-50. With Delver, probably like a 55-45 matchup, but my opponent played very well, and we did not get a lot of help from our deck, but that happens. That's just variance. So if you're looking to take this to a serious tournament, I would encourage you to do this exact 75 or sprinkle to taste. I know that a lot of people think my sideboard plan of just not sideboarding in a lot of matchups is maybe weird, but it's working well for me. Like I definitely really do like just having combo covered and having Moon Stompy covered and stuff like that. And that's one of the great things about Magic is you can kind of express yourself through your decisions. And I make certain decisions like I don't want to get Blood Mooned out of the game, or I don't want to get wasted out of the game. I want to actually play games. And there are probably a few percentages that can be gained in some contexts by taking more risks. But I'm going to continue to play my conservative kind of style of Magic, and I'm going to have fun. And I hope you'll have fun as well. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.